Hi, guys. We are live on the Archie Luxury channel. That's right, guys. We're live and we're broadcasting throughout the world. That's right, the Archie Luxury live stream. We're here and we're talking watches. Okay, guys, let's run the theme and let's start the show. Hello and welcome to the Archie Luxury live stream channel. We are broadcasting and we are live. What is happening today? What is happening today? It's a interesting day today. It is in Australia itself. It is Wednesday. In America, it is Tuesday night. And we're having some great fun on the streams. What's going on in your world, guys? Let's find out. And we've got the one and only, the Zeal is in the house. Patel Philippe. How are you, Mr. Zeal?
Good morning. What's going on, man?
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Great to see you on the stream. What is happening? Tell me what's going on. Please tell me what's happening. Please
we
tell
were
me.
talking
This-
vintage Rolex on the pre-show, the vintage on the pre-show. We got Mr. Higgins joining us as well.
Hey, good evening.
Mr. Higgins is here. What more could you really
Hey,
want? This is
Jonathan,
fantastic.
can you pull up that shot again? Because Archie didn't see it.
Oh,
The
you mean
the
the
Submariner
Rolex
one,
collection?
yeah. If you
One
could.
second.
We were talking about vintage Submariners, and and who else is better to talk to us about vintage than our friend the
ABC.
Jiu-Jitsu?
Hey guys.
Jitsu.
Jiu-Jitsu. Hi.
Jiu-Jitsu. Hi.
Konnichiwa.
Can you zoom a bit, Jonathan?
Yeah, I try. One second.
Yeah, there you go.
Do you know that?
Look at these Submariners, Archie. We've got military Submariners. We've got.
Oh my! Oh, this is the guy in England, Mr. Woods'
Mike Wood.
collection. Is he alive still?
I think so. Yes.
Because I got to be totally honest with you. I remember his collection is absolutely breathtaking. He's a dealer, isn't he? He's a dealer.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And he really, I've never seen a collection like this. Have you? The problem is, of course, you've got to be very careful with these things here. I mean, I should know. I didn't even have. I had never had a collection like he had a collection, and the problem is you really open yourself up to all sorts of criminals, and this is the problem. And that's, you'd have to be so careful with this sort of shit, especially in England. There, it's I honestly I don't know what you'd do with that there.
I think this collection's theme is one watch per brand.
Yeah, he's had some of the rarest military stuff. I mean,
yeah, he didn't even get the joke. It was just flew over his head.
One watch per brand. One brand per, yeah.
All the watches here on NATO's are mil subs, by the way. There is a reason why those don't have metal.
That's so cool, man. The amount of money on that table is just insane with those mil subs.
Yes. He's the thing is, he's had this collection for a while. This is not just something new. He's had this collection, like he's got briefcases full of them, so many variants, and
a collection like that takes decades to build, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know his real name. Sorry, it's just incredible. There was another guy, Damien Hirst. Do you know who that is?
It's an artist, Damien Hirst. Yeah, he's a famous artist.
Famous. I never heard of him, but that's okay. I haven't heard of many people.
Have you ever heard of a super chat?
Super chat. Super chat. Patel Philippe, $5.50. Rolex Cartier dial Submariner versus Tiffany dial Submariner. Fuck, that's so rare. So rare. So rare. I
So I
don't
got
know
the
what.
I got the Tiffany up here for you to see, Archie. That's the Tiffany
Mhm.
dial. And let us go and find ourselves a Cartier dial. Here's a Cartier dial. Which one would you take? A
Wow.
Cartier dial, or would you take a Tiffany dial Submariner?
That's
I
so
think
cool.
the problem is there's so many fakes of these. You know that, don't you? There's so many fakes. Fakes.
I didn't know
What?
that existed, so there you go.
So why don't you give us a bit of history then, Archie? Because ABC, this is new to ABC. So talk to us about the history of these stamp dials from
Well,
Tiffany, from Cartier.
in the day, they would put makers' names on the dials. It was that's basically all that happened. I mean,
So you
there was
could
nothing.
buy a Rolex in a Cartier boutique.
Yes, exactly. Because Cartier then was just a jewelry store. They
Yeah,
weren't necessarily. And I mean, you look at some of the things from like Tiffany and Co. You know, a lot of the things they do, they're not made in house. A lot of things they're actually made by other companies, and you've got to. Um, you've got to realize that this is basically how it goes.
Were these
Um,
commissioned by people?
no, Cartier would put.
Can't imagine them being mass produced. How many of these are there in the world, right?
The problem is a lot of fake ones. That's the problem. You know, whenever there's a chance that one is worth significantly more.
there's a fake around the corner here.
Yeah,
I think back then that was in the area before Alain Dominique Perrin, I think was his name. He commercialized Cartier's watches. Before him, Cartier's watches were very rare to find, and he then started Master Cartier and everything like that. So Cartier watches became then popular, and that Submariner, I think, is from a time when they mostly sold jewelry and not watches. Is that correct?
Yes, exactly right there. Exactly right. And
We've got a donation from Loris's ambassador.
Here we go. John C, $2. Michael Douglas wore a Loris in Falling Down, 1993. I like that movie, Falling Down, didn't
Archie,
you?
can you give John C a thumbs up for Loris? He's been very dedicated with his donations around Loris. You know, so even though Archie may call something a shitter, enough money you throw at him can change his mind. So I've got up here there we go, an Explorer dial. I put in a
Holy shit.
6538, Jonathan. Explorer dial. What do you guys think of this one?
That is the holy grail, I would say. I mean,
Would you go Explorer dial if you had a 6538, or would you go with like the standard dial?
If I had the choice, I would go Explorer dial, even though it's not James Bond accurate. But I love the Explorer dial, so I would take this over the standard dial.
ABC, what about you?
Yeah, I like the numerals. It gives it a nice, unique touch.
Archie?
I got to be honest with you there. Explorer dial.
Those Explorer dials are significant.
They're so fucking rare. You know how rare they are? They're not just
expensive, yes.
They are so fucking. When did they do the 369 Explorer dials on the 5513s too?
It would probably have been meters first, I would think. I don't think it went that long.
Yeah.
Because at the time, right, they're probably interchanging dials, they're interchanging hands. They don't have the same. I don't think the consistency was there with Rolex over in that period of time, right? So you're swapping out hands, you're using different dials. You know, it's probably whatever's available at the time. This is a standard 6538 on the screen, and I'm gonna go a bit against the grain here. Outside of value and you know my search for investments to hire Jonathan as my watch investment
Guru.
financial guru or financial planner. You know, Jonathan would probably hate me on this, but I would go with the standard 6538 and not the 369. Hey, Jonathan, if anybody wants to get your services as a watch investment consultant, what do they have to do? How do they reach you?
Just fuck off. No, I hate those investment threads and discussions and stuff like that. I really don't like it. I buy a watch because I love it and not because of the potential value or existing value. And I'm wearing most of my watches.
Let me ask you guys a question. This is a famous term on the ArchieLuxury channel. Retail is for suckers. Is that term still relevant today? Retail is for suckers.
Oh, you know how to bring up the sour points there. Gee, we wish we could get things at retail now, don't we? Isn't it an oxymoron? Isn't that an oxymoron?
Well, hold on, right? To get things at retail, what do you have to do today?
Krispy Kremes.
Krispy Kremes, yes. You have to do so much scraping the barrel, kissing ass to get things at retail, don't you?
Right. So the question is that is it still for suckers, right? Is doing all that kind of stuff, like sucking your AD's dick to get, you know, a Submariner Kermit or a Pepsi, like, is it still for suckers, or do you just go straight to the gray? You say, fuck the games, you know, I'm just going to get what I want to buy and not, you know.
Fuck the games, isn't it? That's about right.
So is retail for suckers still relevant, Archie? Would you still tell people retail is for suckers? Or would you say, no, you should play the games, buy your AD some donuts, buy them a Christmas present? You know, what would you do? What would be your advice to a new collector today that's looking to get into watches?
Man, just go with the gray market. Seriously, just go with the gray market. Don't waste your time.
Go gray, keep your dignity is what DP says. Keep your dignity.
I think we are talking here Rolex because anyone who pays full retail for a Defy is still a sucker, in my opinion, because you should go on the secondary market or gray market and get one with a discount. So we're talking here Rolex, apparently, or obviously.
So here's one thing I've never understood. The logic that you're going to have to spend 6 figures on jewelry, other watches, to get only a few £1,000s, dollars, whatever, on some hype Rolex pieces. Are you going to buy so many that you can justify that?
That's a good question. That's a really... See, the problem is you need to really... You might buy this shit. You need to get rid of this shit. You can't just keep everything you buy from the AD, can you?
Well, what we can keep is the money from these super chats.
Money from the super chats. Thomas Burdett, £2. Who needs a 6538? Just Dremel the Crown Guards.
That is a quip to our friend Jonathan Quill Higgins, who is the subject of the next super chat.
Super chat. Patel Philippe, $5.50. Best 5-digit Rolexes. Higgins to answer first, and then Archie to refute Higgins' claim.
Okay, let's go. 16710.
Oh, you know what's funny? I asked this question yesterday, and this was ABC's choice.
Okay.
So
yeah.
Well,
Archie,
ABC knows his stuff.
Archie, you did not pick the 16710. So why would you say that is not the best 5-digit Rolex that's out there?
I got to tell you, I think the Explorer is a much better watch than the GMT ever was there. I think if you're talking 5 digits, you'd have to go Sea Dwellers, 16600s. You would have to go... There's so many cooler watches there, Jonathan.
Yeah, but 600...
14060 two-liner, man, that is such a usable watch. And I think
that is top heavy, the Sea Dweller.
It's top heavy.
Yeah, it's very thick and very top heavy, 5 digits.
So Archie's choice was the 14060 two-liner as the best 5-digit. Jonathan, would you
That's
disagree
right.
with this? Why would you not pick the two-liner no date sub?
I personally like the Submariner without a date. I refuse to call them no date. Submariner without a date. I like it much better without the white gold surrounds around the loom plots. That is why I'm hesitant in agreeing with Archie. Also, I like the GMT Master. I like the additional complication. I use it a lot when I travel. I'm a GMT guy, and to fight against Archie's argument that the Explorer is the better one, I would say the GMT Master is the better one because you get the 24-hour functionality, but also a design which is very similar to the Submariner. So you're basically getting 2 watches in one.
I don't know where the hell we are because like there's so many people supporting Higgins today. DP says Archie's in trouble now. JQH is spot on.
Can I
I
add to that argument, actually?
Yes, please do.
The 16710 or that generation of GMT, one, it can almost cater for half-hour time zones. So it does everything the Explorer 2 can do, and it does everything that a Submariner can do with a little bit of simple math. If you want to do your minutes elapsed, just time something by 5 and then divide it by 2, or times by 2.5, whatever way you want to think of it. It does everything that can do, and it's the first one to have colored bezels.
And ABC spot on.
It's
Archie,
3 watches in one.
Are you declaring your defeat now?
I gotta tell you, seriously, I think aesthetically, you'd have to be 5 digits. You'd have to be. There's a couple statements I would make. If you're going to go GMT path, wouldn't you go 16750 transitional plastic? Isn't that a better watch?
That is a good point because I love the 16750, and it didn't come to mind because I still have that in the 4-digit camp. But you make a good point. On the other hand,
why is that better, Arch, in your opinion?
Well, it's a much shorter production run. It was a transitional model, and it still uses the plexiglass.
I actually like the 16700 because it's got the quick set date.
16700. That's the GMT Master 1, not the 2.
Yeah. So that's got a quick set date.
You know what the difference is, don't you? You can't. You know the GMT Master 1. It doesn't have. It's the fixed 24-hour hand, isn't it?
It is, but I don't need to track 3 time zones personally. So
yeah, but if you travel to a different time zone, that is relevant. So yeah.
All right, you got to
chat in here from Kelsowitz, $5. Paul, please pull up your favorite brand, the Glasuta Senator Excellence 13601030266 offered me at a great price, less than 4,500. Yes or no?
All right, I got it up on screen here for you guys.
Lovely looking watch. 4.5. I think Jonathan would be the expert on this piece. What do you think? 4.5, Jonathan?
You're catching me on the wrong foot because I'm not the Glasuta Original expert. I personally don't like the watch. I like the movement, how it looks like. Of course, the finishing is top notch. I would try to get it for 4, to be honest. I think it's not difficult to haggle them down.
I don't know. I see a bunch of machine finishing here, Jonathan. I don't know about top notch, but
well, we are top notch compared to Tudor, for example, or Rolex.
Archie, the insolence, like Jonathan coming on here, spruiking the German brands, and you're just, Comex life, letting him say whatever he wants, run wild. And
4,500. What's he going to get? 4,500. That's a hard. The only things that come up in this circle of watches would be like maybe a Jaeger-LeCoultre secondhand.
I think it's a good choice.
Tudor.
It's a good price. It's a good price. He likes it, so I would tell him to get it.
And the best thing about Kelsowitz is hopefully this will stop him. Remember, he was offered a couple of, Kelsowitz, I don't know if you've met him, but he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah, I talk to him all the time.
And-
Actually, he pinged me already on this watch, and I told him we'd talk about it on the live stream. So
He's also been offered some dog shit. You know this, don't you? Remember he was offered. You know what he was offered, don't you?
I don't remember.
He was offered an AP. He was offered an AP.
Mhm.
It turned out to be dog shit model. And he was also offered, what was the other brand? A Moser. He was offered a Moser, which he's been very diplomatic in rejecting this sort of shit. He's been very careful. He's got to be careful because he was after. He was after a statement watch, and I said to him, just get a 5212 like Tan's guy. I said that's your best. He's just very troubled man. He's a very troubled boy, and I got to be totally honest with you. If you're not careful, you could be left with. That is beautiful, isn't it? What do you think of that?
Well,
Damn,
you got a
that's,
super chat. You got a super chat related to it, so you got to read this one.
Thomas Burnett, Jonathan Quayle Higgins, opinions on the
You got it right first
1655
time.
as a beta GMT,
Better.
as a better GMT.
In my opinion, it's not a better GMT, but it's a nicer GMT. I have a soft spot for those 1655. I really like them with the orange hand. It's an odd design. When I started being interested in Rolex watches, I truly hated it because it looked so odd. But over the years, I became to love it, and I totally love the 1655.
I'll give Jonathan a pass here because it's really late in Germany, but that's not a GMT, buddy.
Well, yeah, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a pass, Jonathan. I won't count that against
it's
you.
okay. It's a
I
24
won't count that
I'll tell you one
against
thing, just to complete the set, there's the 16550, which is the cream dial Explorer
Yes.
2.
Well, it was available as cream. There was 3 dial options.
I'm gonna show you
Oh,
the
three,
cream
was it?
rail dial. The cream rail dial.
I had the black and the white still.
Oh, they had a brilliant white as well as the cream.
Yeah, they had 3 dial options, I believe.
Look at that.
Are you sure?
It's so cool.
I think that cream dial turned cream, so I think it started as a white dial. I may be wrong about that. I've been wrong a couple of times tonight, but I think those started all with white dials.
We've got a comment. So, Archie, you had actually left the pre-show, but Muhammad Ali donated a very generous £50 super chat
Yes.
on the pre-show.
Yes,
So
wow.
we want to say hi. I think we got to go full screen and say hi to Muhammad Ali.
Muhammad Ali, yes, sir. Thank you so much for your generosity. Thank
And
you
he
so much.
says Nomos is good value at 4.5. Now, Jonathan, would you go Nomos or would you go Geo at the 4.5 price point?
It's very late at night. I can't make my decisions. Nomos usually is below those 4,500. Usually Nomos you're getting around 3.5.
Jonathan, you don't need to lick your wounds, man.
No.
You know,
It's okay. So I would. So if I had the choice, I would go a little bit higher than 4.5, go Glashütte, or lower than 4.5 and look at Nomos. I wouldn't go this way to say 4.5 and this or that.
And I also just want to say a very quick special to Jared Coffin, $2 towards the sweater fund. That was a super chat we missed on the morning stream. We missed that because we clicked end. So Jared Coffin is in the house there. Very special. Thank you for last night.
Did you approach Bear about getting his wrench?
well, we're taking Bear's wrench. Is that what we're doing?
No, we're gonna give Jared Coffin. He wants a wrench. I gotta say,
Let's in honor of us taking Bear's wrench.
We took Bear's wrench. How did we take what?
Well, you were just talking about taking his wrench. So let's, in honor of Bear's wrench being removed.
I said in.
I'm just messing around with you, Archie.
The heck was that?
No worries at all. That sounds cool, man. That's
Kelsworth is
okay.
saying JQH, this 36 caliber movement is top notch and is better finished than the CQ.
Yeah. Looks nice.
Yes,
and
sir.
depends on which CQ we're talking about, the small or the big one.
Look, Archie, have you been sharing comics with Jonathan? Like, you know, his people are taking shots at his watches, and he's
No,
he's
it's
talking
all
watches
okay.
in a relaxed format, I guess.
Interesting.
Don't worry, Tanzil. If anyone says anything about Grand Seiko, they'll have me to contend with.
I know if Jonathan starts going at Patek Philippe right now, we'll. I think Archie's he's taking a dose of comics this morning. He's got his grandfather's sweater on today, and yeah, we're just gonna roll with the punches today, boys. Roll with the punches.
Thank you so much.
We got the Goldberg in the chat. I've dropped the link for Mr. Goldberg if he'd like to join us. Talking Rolex.
Talking Rolex. That's the way to go.
Jonathan, we were talking Certisage dials yesterday. What is your favorite
Hey
Certi
guys,
dial?
I've got a question yesterday about Certi dials. Was there a silver one with green emeralds?
I think I've seen. So that this is a silver with sapphires. This is common. Let me see if I can find one.
I'm sure I've seen one. That it may have been a fake, I don't know, but I remember seeing one for sure.
You know, the only person I think who would know is Saad, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Saad would be the one. I'm trying to find one that's not a custom dial, and it's not easy, so I'm not sure. But so we got 30 dials on the day date. We got 30 dials on the Submariner, the Yachtmaster. What's your guys' favorite Certisage dial? Oh, and the GMT Master as well, yes.
GMT as well. I like that root beer one actually.
I like the nipple dials. Nipple, nipple, nipple.
Are you guys a fan of it on this Yachtmeister?
Not at all. I mean, I like Mother of Pearl. I think that is Mother of Pearl, the base. But I think it just looks odd.
Pavel says the Slate dial was for Sapphire for subs and Ruby for the GMT. Davi's asking Archie, how long can you jerk off to Rolex?
As long as it takes.
I mean, Archie, you can only watch so much amateur porn before you start scrolling through for other things, right?
Exactly right. That's exactly it, isn't it? Yes.
So Archie, you're not a fan of the Yachtmaster 30 dial. We got an Oyster Quartz Day-Date diamond dial here.
Yes, sir.
Very nice.
Those baguettes are beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. We did a whole topic on integrated bracelets earlier, Archie, where Jonathan went through a whole thesis around. You know, maybe I'm going to ask you the question, Archie, before I bias the panel here. So I'm going to type it out in a super chat. I think.
Rare Birds. We've got to get our Rare Bird man. He likes integrated bracelets, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's
Rare Birds. Rare Birds.
That's what roped him into the chat earlier. That's why he was on. But the question is now coming your way. And I know Jonathan's getting a little tired, so he's going to run out of steam to respond to this. So we'll let the Pontiff go and have his take on this super chat.
Here we go. Patel Philippe, $5.50. Archie, do you think the GP Laureato was a ripoff of the Royal Oak? Yeah, I do. I do. Yes, sir.
Now, why do you think that is? Why do you think that? Because Laureato came out in 75, and the Royal Oak came out in 72.
Royal Oak came out in 72, and the Nautilus came out in 76.
I'm adding it here to the screen, Jonathan. So
yeah, thank you very much. So I disagree here slightly with the Pontiff. I don't think that it's a real and total ripoff. And the reason why that is the architecture of the bezel is different. If you look closer at the bezel, This has a domed surface. The Royal Oak bezel has always been flat with those screws. The Laureato dome bezel is still domed on the surface still today. Also, that octagonal shape here on the Laureato is working like a wheel bolt, and it has a functional purpose, while the Royal Oak is more decorative. My point was also the two-tone. The Royal Oak didn't come in two-tone at the time when the
Kesslowitz is here. Kesslowitz has just joined.
Paul.
Hello, how are you?
How you doing?
What's happened? Ask away. You're considering this glass hoot. Tell us what happened. Who offered it to you? Give us the gas.
It's the dealer Watchfinder. Have you heard of these guys? Have you ordered from them?
Yeah. No, I haven't, but go on. They offered this to you.
Yeah, they have quite a deal on it right now.
Maybe you're buying this as a escape. What do you think?
Filler. It's filler.
Yes. What do you think?
Yeah, it's just such a good deal. How could you go wrong for $4,000? You know, Kevin O'Leary says you're not a true collector of the brand unless you have two. So you got to have two of each. I'm thinking two per brand. What do you think of that?
Yeah, but why do you do that boring dial design?
Well, they're Breguet numerals, and it's actually a flat matte finish, which is quite cool. And it's really the movement. You're really buying the movement. I mean, 100-hour power reserve. There's actual hand finishing. There's 21 karat gold on the rotor. I mean, for $4,000, I mean, it's what are you going to get? An Omega Seamaster or for $4,000, you're pretty limited on options. You got to fill the box, Paul. You got to fill the box.
Yes, that's a good point. Super chat here. That's nice cake, by the way. Whose cake is that?
Why don't you read the super chat and you'll find out.
Here we go. Patel Philippe, $5.50. Kalsowitz, would you consider yourself superior to a CQ owner who hates Viennese chocolate cake if you bought the Senator?
Viennese.
Ooh.
You know what? I would actually buy that watch just to get this piece of cake. The cake looks fucking amazing.
That sounds like me. I mean, I have the CQ now, so I guess no.
I can assure you the cake looks better than it tastes because it's pretty dry. That is the original Sachertorte, and if you peel off that chocolate layer, it's pretty dry and
So
relatively
do you need
boring.
a tea or coffee with it?
See,
Oh,
Archie,
fuck.
Jonathan responded with when I sent him the Viennese cake, he responded to me with a Black Forest cake. Do you think Black
Yes.
Forest is better than this, or would you go with this over a Black
No, I
Forest?
go with this. This is fucking amazing. This is
know.
fucking amazing.
Black Forest has such a variety of flavors. It's got the tanginess of the cherry. Got the
No.
richness of the chocolate.
This is my sort of cake. I had an Austrian cake yesterday. Actually, stopped at coffee after the show. It was what they call a Wiesel. It was an Austrian cake, a Wiesel layered cake. You heard of that? Oh, it was a hazelnut cake, and it's some sort of layered, like with a. Oh, it was amazing.
Tan, we'd probably dunk them in our tea like cake rusks, right?
Ooh, I love cake rusk. Jonathan's his response is on the screen, and we are
Yeah.
talking luxury cakes in a relaxed format.
Talking, yes,
Mhm.
luxury cake.
So I totally agree with ABC. Schwarzwälder Kirschtorte has such a variety of tastes, and it has a good portion of schnapps inside as well. So you get the chocolate cake, you get the cherry flavor, you get the schnapps, you get
And the cream.
taste, and the chocolate chips on top. There is nothing better than that.
Jay Sykes
I
says
don't like.
at least Kelsowitz isn't being predictable and boring with only Rolex. That's a good point.
That is
He
very
does go against the grain, to be fair.
It's got to be different. So what's new, Paul? What's happening? What's the latest?
Hey, what's going
Give me
with
the
you? What?
goss. Give me the goss.
Have you decided on a Grail piece for yourself? Tell me what's happened with you.
I mean, I still think that 5212 is the way to go. Just waiting to see. You got to build up to it, Paul. You don't want to just go to the top right away. I got a lot of life left to live.
But
And, it's good to kind of ramp up, to have
what other
something
stuff
to
has
look
the
forward
boutique
to.
offered you? What
If
other
you
stuff?
go immediately with the Patek, what else do you have to live for? I mean, there's it has to be like a mile, like later down the track, milestone.
Did you mention
Otherwise-
FP Jean? Was that you?
Yes, of course.
What's happened with that?
That's gonna be a wait. I mean, who knows? It's probably gonna be at least a year, probably 2. Maybe it'll never happen. You know how it goes.
What watches? You were offered 2 watches. What were they?
That AP, the code 1159 rose gold with the blue dial. It was actually a really good looking watch, but for 40-something thousand, you're just gonna lose your ass. I need to have that psychological comfort that I'm safe financially, even though I'm not gonna sell it. It's just knowing that it's worth what you paid at least. So I couldn't pull the trigger on that. And then they offered me that Rolex Explorer 136. I passed on that.
Yeah.
What else? Yeah, there's an independent AD that's always sending me photos and new stuff coming in, but
Independent AD? You mean a grey market dealer?
no, independent. Like they don't sell, the big brands. It's all,
Oh, what the fuck did you waste your time going in there for? You're not going to make any money.
Well, I was
flipping
looking at
them.
those Laurent Ferriers. They had those. So
Oh, okay.
now that he's got my number, he's always sending. That new
Didn't he offer
monster
you,
that came out.
Remember
Remember that?
you offered a Laurent Ferrier? Weren't you offered one, or?
Yes, a few.
But what happened? There's no money in it. Let's be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean they're 50 grand. They're worth 24. So you're gonna lose half your money.
That's a real.
The only one maybe worth getting is the Sport Auto Blue. But even if you talk to gray market dealers, they won't even consign it for retail. That watch. You go on Chrono.
Yeah.
It's a $45,000 watch. It sells for listed for 70, 75, but the great dealers won't even consign it for the 45 you paid. So that's another loser.
Geez, you've done your homework.
Well, I don't want to lose money.
Very, very good point there. Thomas Burdett, £2. Isn't the 1653 Clint Eastwood the best GMT? That's a two-tone.
Root beer,
Yes, sir.
the original root beer. Not a
Yeah.
GMT with just a bit of brown in the bezel.
If you like the root beer, that could be a point. I personally prefer the Pepsi in steel.
You prefer the Pepsi in steel.
Where's the energy, boys? You're calling this the best GMT? What about the original Bakelite GMT?
Oh,
Pussy
yes,
galore, we call
sir.
it. Pussy
We are
galore.
still caught in the 5-digit discussion, I'm afraid.
Yes,
Well, he
that's
did say
good.
he didn't say 5 digits. He says, "Isn't it
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best GMT?"
Yeah.
And Jonathan thinks the best GMT is a watch that isn't even a GMT. But
No. I didn't say that this is the best GMT. I like the 16555, but
I think it needs to be. I think it needs to be mentioned because it is a great watch. I love the 1655. I loved it more than the GMT.
Yeah, but Tanzil is spot on. The best GMT, and it's also not a it's a GMT master with a rotating bezel.
Yep.
It is the 6542.
the Pussy
chrome
galore.
guards,
You can
Bakelite.
just call it the Pussy galore for us, Jonathan.
I don't
Pussy
call
galore.
it Pussy galore, actually.
But it is the Pussy galore.
Okay.
All right, Archie. This is a heavy-hitting question. I need you to focus on this one because this is a very important question for me.
Patel Philippe, $5.50. Breguet La Tradition, Fusée Tourbillon versus Richard Lange pour le Mérite Fusée. So these are both Fusée. They're both Fusée watches.
That looks so good. That's amazing.
What do you think, Archie?
Amazing.
Which is your favorite? So that is the Breguet. I'll pull up the.
Richard.
That's white gold,
Lange.
right?
Yes, sir. Yes, it ain't fucking steel.
me pull up a Richard Lange pour la Mérite.
How much is that Breguet?
Oh fuck, that's beautiful. You
180.
know what?
Which would you get, the Bregster or the Lange?
You know what? I think I'd have to go for the Lange.
What? Oh, terrible.
Why terrible?
You got to go Breguet. I mean, that's such a basic looking watch. Look at that thing. I mean, Romans with the white dial. Look at the other watch. It's so unique.
That is
so
exactly
cool.
the trick.
Look at that tourbillon. Tourbillon. Guilloche dial. How cool.
So, Jonathan, give us reasons on why you wouldn't get the Breguet and why you would go with
No,
the Lange.
I think you posed an unfair question, Tanzil, to be honest. So
Well, that's
in
the
this
point.
comparison,
It is the point. I'm
in
gonna
in
make
this
it. I'm
compar-
gonna stack it in my favor, not in your favor.
you're not meant to be fair, neutral
Exactly.
and balanced.
Exactly.
Okay, so in this comparison, I would go with the Breguet because it has the tourbillon. Keslowitz is right, but there is a beautiful Richard Lange.
But you must
tourbillon.
admit the lugs. Look at the lugs on this one, Jonathan.
Hmm?
The lugs.
Yeah, those
are
kind of
nowhere-
suck. What the fuck are they
Like,
doing with that? I
yeah,
don't know
like
why
this
they
is-
do that. They
I
do
know
that
it's
on a
got the-
bunch of their watches. I don't get that. It looks like
Well,
shit.
it looks like it's a pocket watch with just fucking lugs
it's
soldered
an
on.
afterthought. It's an afterthought.
Exactly. Even though it's got the coin edging, look at that Lange, just beautiful. The bezel. Look at
And
the
it's
bezel
under the
lip.
radar.
The lip.
The
The lip on the bezel. The bezel lip. Lip. Look at it. It's just to die for, Jonathan. And you're German as well. See?
Yes,
You'd have-
but still, you get the additional tourbillon at the Breguet. I'm sorry, I have to go with the Breguet here.
I think the Richard Langes, they're quite special. You know that.
I
You know this, Jonathan.
Of course, I know. So Tanzil, for some balance, can you pull up the Richard Lange tourbillon pour le Mérite? By the way, do you know what pour le Mérite means?
No idea.
That is a kind of how do you say? It's an honorary title, which means for the art or for just for the perfection or something, and that it was done in Prussia. That was an award for soldiers. So here, that is the true comparison to the Breguet.
Wow.
And the trick on this particular watch is this has what Swiss and I call the flip-flop dial. Tanzil, can you show us the dial? Because you see here, there is a little sub-dial that shows 8, 9, and 10, but that distracts a little bit, or that covers partially the tourbillon. So when the hour hand is going to 12, this little sub-dial is then flipping in to expose the full tourbillon.
It's amazing stuff.
So that sub-dial flips out and in.
That's beautiful.
It's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, you got to respect the German watchmaking. Let's see the back of that one more time. All these, Lange and Glashütte shared that 3/4 bridge plate, engineering. Well, the Swiss, they're using bridges to hold all these gear trains and everything in place. You see the 3/4 bridge plate here, and then it's actually sandwiched to a full plate on the other side. So everything is cased in. It's a very rigid, robust watch, compared to most Swiss watches.
Here we go. We got a super chat from Patel Philippe, $5.50. ABC and Jonathan Quayle Higgins. What are the 3 best investment watches of the modern day? Rolex. Keep going, ABC.
So brands that make money over time, definitely Rolex, Patek, some AP, a lot of APs, Royal Oaks, and some Cartiers. Not much else, I don't think. Now, it depends on how much money you've got. If you've got a lot of capital, get an FP Journe. That will make you money, I think, over time.
Will it make
So
you money, or is the money already in the watch and it's
it
not
is, but
gonna
I think over
go further?
time that will, there was that FP Journe collection which was relatively cheap a few years ago. Now that's just absolutely gone exponential in value. It may have hit the peak, you may have come late to the party, but I'd say generally any Rolex is a solid investment, quote unquote.
Fuck me dead, I want a waffle at the moment. That cake that he brought up before. Jesus Christ, that cake. Thomas Burdett, £5. Can I have a waffle or not?
Sure, of course you can.
If you have one in house, or are you driving to somewhere to get
No,
one?
no. I got one in house. I got to steal it.
Gotta
Thomas
steal it
Burdett,
from my kids.
£5. Roman Gauthier, logical one. A versus Fernand Buffood. FB 1.1 Fusée. FB 1.1
What does
all
fusée
day.
mean in this case, in this context?
The chain, right?
Well, the chain is fusée and the chain.
So that goes back to chronometry. The problem with the mainspring is when it's fully wound, the torque is higher than when it's running down, and the fusée and chain, maybe Tanzil can pull that up, is a seamless gear train to correct that by winding a chain on a cone-shaped wheel. And that is a Fusée chain. First appeared in chronometry, and a couple of wristwatches have that. Lange & Söhne started it with their Pour le Mérite tourbillon.
I think Armstrong does one too, right?
I don't think that Armin Strom is doing it, but I may be wrong. But I don't think they're doing it. But Ferdinand Berthoud is making the most beautiful Fusée and chain at the moment. I agree with my friend Thomas Burnett. To me, Ferdinand Berthoud all day long over the logical one Fusée. But Romain Gauthier makes some incredibly finished watches with a lot of internal angles, but not the logical one.
Now,
Fusée.
is
Could
the
I just?
yeah? Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just going to bring something up for you guys here. We were
While
talking.
you do that, while you do that, I'm just going to ask Jonathan: is the Ferdinand Berthoud Fusée a rip-off of a German stop sign?
Phew.
Actually, I don't like that case shape, but they also make the watch in round, and I like it much more in the round case shape.
There's one more Fusée and chain that we haven't really talked about. It's a Leroy Fusée and chain. I don't know if you've ever seen this one, the Leroy Chronomètre à tourbillon.
I heard of it. It's not really present in my mind. Do you have a
Bill
picture of it?
Sanders owned a Leroy, so I might ask Bill Sanders what his thoughts were. But we got ArchieLuxury bringing something up here on the screen, so I got you up here, buddy.
This is CB's collection. These are non-Geneva seal watches, which is just this. I think. Look at this. These here. Dream Paddock, FP Journe, Dream Lorient, BNF, Platona, and what's the other thing in the bottom
Bethune.
there? That's the buffoon. The buffoon. That's why I brought it up, actually, because we're talking about buffoons before.
We were not talking about de Bethunes, but okay.
Oh, okay.
We were talking about Ferdinand Berthoud, but all
What's
right.
your favorite, Paul? What are you taking here? You can pick one of the six. What are you taking?
I'd take the Paddock. Sorry.
What?
All right, let's
What
go
would
through
you
the panel.
take?
What would you guys take? Archie's going with the Paddock. Kelsowitz, what about you?
Oh, on the spot, FP Journe. Oh, that's a tough pick, though. Man. Yeah, you got to go with that FP Journe.
Jonathan
If you
Higgins
weren't going
Joe.
for the Journe, what would you go? If you weren't going for the Journe, what would you go for?
Quick, de Bethune. That's a tough
Okay.
one, though.
Wow, nice collection, DP. Thank you, DP. Jonathan.
Patek Philippe.
Damn. And it's got
ABC.
the diamonds, right? It's
Yep.
it's the diamond bezel. Yeah, wow.
Also diamond lugs.
ABC. What do you think?
What's the Patek made of? Platinum or white gold?
I think that's white gold with diamonds. It's the 5271, I believe. They did the perpetual chronos in a gem set collection. They have like a ruby one, a sapphire one, and then CB has the diamond one.
Yeah, so the sapphire one that you showed a few shows back, that was same 5271, yeah?
Yeah, it's just different gem
Okay.
sets.
Yeah. I like the MBNF actually, I've got to say.
Yeah,
Because I think I can be lost in watching any one of those complications move.
Playboy Hefner says he's choosing the Rolex. Van Lux is saying Daytona. And you guys all know what I'm going to take, so it's pretty straightforward on the Patek Philippe. But seems like Patek is winning out here on the panel today.
But Tanzil, you didn't give me the chance to reply to your question, to your super chat. What are the 3 best investment watches of the modern day?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah.
Please go ahead.
So I hate those investment watches questions, and I hate you for posing that. I would go, in my opinion, Recipe has a great, bright future. And so we're not talking about watches that are valuable today. We're talking about watches that have a huge potential to rise in value in the future, correct?
And that's right.
DP, $20. Thank you for bringing up my chat comments and great discussion, Jen. Super chat, where have you been? Where have you been? Been to London. Visit
Things in life for
King.
but you can give them to the birds and bees.
The bears and the bees, fighters.
That's what I want.
Bears and the bees.
That's what I want.
Bears and the bees.
There we go.
Super chat now.
I'm just going to bring something up if you don't mind. Do you mind if I bring something up?
Of course.
Jonathan.
Yes.
Jonathan, this was the Austrian
Keep in mind, it's
cake.
almost 2 o'clock in the night for me.
This is
I
the
have to go.
Austrian cake.
Yeah.
What is that? That was an Austrian hazelnut cake.
Yeah.
It's layered. It's called a cut. It's a weasel. It's a layered cake. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Does that
Looks
mean
beautiful.
anything? Yes. It absolutely was beautiful.
Where did you find that? In London?
That's actually an Austrian tea house. An Austrian K&K Austrian. They do Austrian. What do you think?
Where is that? In Australia or in
It's
Austria?
in Brisbane. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. No. Well, I had it yesterday after the show.
Looks very nice, and I would go for that over the Sachertorte.
Okay, thank you.
This
So I'm
seems
sorry
very
about that there. And let's bring up Patel Philippe's the Leroy. What is the Leroy.
Guys, I have to shoot off. I need some sleep.
One more, Jonathan, before you go. One more before you go. All right, Archie, go ahead.
Here we go. Patel Philippe, $5.50. Archie, do you think Jonathan Quayle Higgins' cat is wondering what the fuck he's doing up right now at 3 a.m. in Germany, eating a white forest cake with a glass of milk? Milk. Yes.
That was for you, Jonathan, before you go to bed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tanzil, can you bring up my YouTube video with the trick that my cat made? Have you seen that?
I haven't seen it, but is it on your channel or
It's
is
on
it
Jonathan Quayle Higgins III.
Okay, yeah. Let me pull up your channel. Is it a short or is it a regular video?
It is a short.
Shorts.
It's called Snooki Superstar.
Ah, yes, I have it here.
Archie, maybe you start to like cats.
So, und jetzt
I do like cats.
mal so guter Junge.
Here he sits down on command and he gives hand.
Wow.
So, Snooki, Snuki, gib noch mal Hände. Gib noch mal Hände. So ist gut. Ja.
This seems like a live rendition of like the ArchieLuxury channel.
You
Just
think
giving
I'm
Archie's
feeding him
grade.
with Calmex or?
So, Snuki, gib mir mal Hände. Gib noch mal Hände. So ist gut. Prima machst du das.
Okay, I'll look after the cat now, and I go to bed.
So,
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank
as your
you.
guest, and speak to you later. Yeah, bye
See
bye.
Higgins.
Always
Thomas
a pleasure.
Burdett, £2. Great to have you on, Jonathan. Sleep well. You betcha. You betcha.
I actually also got to go skip to eat some dinner, Archie, but I'll be
That's
back in a bit.
okay. That's okay, man. That's no problems.
All right, I'll let you talk 5 digits with ABC. I'll be back in a little bit. See you guys.
Thank you so much. It's very interesting comment you made there, Kalsowitz. I didn't think they would catch you out there.
What's that?
You mentioned that the one of those things you were offered, they're selling on eBay on Chrono way over list, but if you consigned it to a dealer, they won't even give you.
Have
So
you
do you
done that?
reckon-
Have you gone through your watches and just asked some of these gray dealers what they'll pay?
You know, they constantly lowball you, but you know what I
Right,
mean?
right. I remember that story you told a long time ago where you used to go into pawn shops with your paddock.
Yeah.
Oh, I was
yeah.
just given this. What do you think this is worth? I have no idea. You know.
Yeah, yeah. So, do you think maybe some people are rigging the secondary market by trying to say they're worth a lot more? See, what they listed on Chrono doesn't mean that's what it sells for, does it?
No, right. What's one of the guys over at the Luxury Bazaar said it's usually 20% over, generally speaking.
Yeah. I don't think on Rolex, is it 20% over? 20% over. Fuck.
I guess it's case by case, but the offers are so low. I mean,
So
some
you're
of the
back to
offers
work
are
now?
so
Tell me,
ridiculous.
what's happening? What's happening? Back to work?
You know, there's a couple commercials here and there, but you know, there's a writers' strike at the moment. The Writers Guild of America is striking.
Why are they striking?
Well, they are every 3 years they have a new contract with the Producers Guild, and so they haven't come to terms that they are happy with, so they're striking. No work.
Okay.
So, you know, everyone that writes all the TV shows and all the movies, they're all
on strike.
That's right. Yeah.
Whether they like it or not, they don't have any choice, do they? They can't.
Well, they all voted for it. They do a vote within the
Okay.
the union itself.
Okay.
So,
Far out. Nasty stuff.
yeah, so that kind of affects the whole industry, but you know, there's still commercials and still some shoots here and there, but that's just how it goes. You know, there's always ups and downs.
Here we go. Patel Philippe, just 1 minute. I'll come back to that. $5.50. AC3. I know you're not a huge fan of Moser, but Moser. You know, I know you're not a
Muhammad
huge fan
Ali.
of Moser. Sorry, but
Sorry, carry on.
Muhammad Ali's Moser Pioneer with red dial is schmicko. Can't wait to see it in person. That's a good point there. So he's got the Moser Pioneer. And what is it called again? It's got the red dial.
Moser Pioneer red dial.
They do those really nice gradient dials, you know, the red to black, the green to black. It's pretty much red, green, and blue, I think, are their
Yeah.
Ooh, this
main
is actually
colors
quite
there.
beautiful. Let's bring it up. I'm going to bring this up on the screen. If I can. Oh, the red is beautiful, man. This is actually quite beautiful. So in your case there, so you're kind of between gigs at the moment. Is that right? You're just waiting for work to start for you, right?
That's right. I mean, I got one coming up in a couple weeks, so that'll be a few days of work.
Okay.
Would you get this, Moser? What do you think of this? This isn't up your alley, I can tell.
Look, in my country, I'm in Brisbane. You know, you got to remember this, okay? It's a small See, that's why I go. People think I go with safe stuff, but you know, Patek and that there, not many people know what a fucking Patek is here.
Right.
We're not. It's not the most known thing for normal sort of people. But this Mosa, look, it's lovely, but I don't know how would you get out of it. You know what I mean? These things are so sensitive,
Don't you
aren't
think
they?
with every watch though, if the price is right, you're in? You know, like if someone said, "Hey, I'll give you this Moser for $3,000," now would
Mm.
you buy it?
Of course, yeah, you'd have to, wouldn't you? You'd have to. You'd have
Yeah.
to.
See,
Wouldn't you?
everything has its price. You know, it's a cool watch. You know, it's just the price that's always the deciding factor.
Are their movements good? Because they don't seem to show off their movements much, do they? Or does it show on
They look pretty
themselves?
good. No, they do good finishing. Definitely.
So they
I
have
think
Yeah.
I think the
glass.
perpetual calendar is a pretty innovative design, you know, to keep the dial. I know everyone hates it. You can't really read the thing, but it is actually perpetual, you know, and it has all the hands and the leap year function, and the finishing
Yeah.
of that case back is pretty tremendous, actually, for the price. You know, this is probably Moser probably makes the best priced tourbillon on the market. You know, used, I can't remember off the top of my
Can
head,
I
but it's
ask you
something like
something?
30,000 for their tourbillon.
You're in a risky area. How much emergency fund do you have there for yourself? What do you? What is
Okay,
sensible in your industry?
I mean, in our industry, I would say you should have minimum 6 months or a year. I mean, but a lot of people can't pull that off, you know. That's the Dave Ramsey method, isn't it? 6 months
Mm,
salary.
3 to 6 months.
Yeah, so I would definitely go on the you know, the safer end of that for us, you know, just because it's seasonal
Mm.
work, really, you know.
Patel Philippe, $5.50. AC3. I know you're not a huge fan of Mosa. Oh, we did that one. We did that one. Sorry.
What do you think is sensible, Paul? 6 months savings, cash.
I don't think blue chip shares would be terrible, would it? Would it have to be cash? Can
Well,
you
so
put a little
then
bit?
that's not like an emergency fund anymore. That's like your investment.
No, but it can be like a
Danger.
blue chip. We're not talking garbage investments. We're talking blue chip, blue chip, blue chip.
But short term, that could be going down, and then you need the
It could,
money.
it
And
could,
it's
it could, but hey, as many things can happen in life.
right. No, but I mean the definition of a proper emergency fund is typically cash. You know.
Yes.
What does Dave
Yeah.
Ramsey say? You know, money in behind the photo glass. You know,
Mhm. Good
accessible.
point. Patel Philippe, $5.50. ABC. I went over to someone's place for a dawat, and was dipping roti in the Nirari Soba full on with the 5212, not giving a fake. Would Archie dare it?
So he went to a dinner party and he was dipping basically flat bread in a very drippy kind of stew
Mhm.
with the
Yes.
5212 on. Would
He
you
didn't care.
dare do such a thing?
Oh yeah, with the watch is fine. Why not? Why not?
This leather strap, if you get that leather strap stained with an oily stew, I don't know.
Fuck.
That's a hard one. But that depends on
Yeah.
if you eat with the same hand that you wear the watch on, then that's quite dangerous. Otherwise,
Hmm.
you know, I mean, I eat with my right hand and wear my watch on my left. So
Take the
I would
fucking thing off. Take the fucking watch off, I think.
no.
Is that what
Especially
you
the
do,
thing-
Paul? Paul goes to the public restroom. He takes his paddock off and puts it in his pocket. Is that right? You ever go to the public restroom? You know, the high pressure faucet comes on. It sprays all over your leather band. Oh fuck!
It's not that
No,
bad
the
because that's
aerated
black
water
leather.
won't splash everywhere the way the old style
Oh, they
faucets
say
do.
those have the most germs. You know, those Dyson air blades or all those air dryers. They say you get the most germs on your hands by
Oh
drying
no,
that
I
way.
mean the aerated water faucets or taps as we
Oh,
call them.
right. Yeah, that's the high.
That doesn't splash as much.
Right.
I didn't know they had germs in those air dryers.
Yeah. There was a study on that. It's actually the best way is paper towel. They did a study on air dry, paper towel, or the blasting with the Dyson thing, and there's more germs.
Do you remember the
that-
cloth towels?
Yes, yes, really snooty hotels have
And
that.
we live, we're alive. We use them. What's all this hype all about? Scaremongering.
You know what?
Bring them back, I say. Bring back.
Mm,
Problem is,
cloth
they'd often
towels.
get jammed. Those cloth towels.
Yes, yes. I got to tell you, I would actually, now that Patel has raised it, if it's a black leather strap, like suede would be a bitch to get that rotty. That suede, those
Sure, but
suede straps.
sure,
But
But
if it's a
here's the
sealed,
gap.
if it's a black leather sealed strap,
No, it's a
not too
town
bad.
strap, right? It's his
Mm.
manufacturer OEM strap.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, good point. Good point.
Speaking of funky straps, I saw that new Chaikin watch coming out, the Monster, and they're using a toad
Yes.
leather. Have you heard of this? Toad.
No, tell us about it. Tell
The
us
fucking
what is
strap is made from toad.
fucking. I'm
you-
not a.
Can you pull it up?
It's my first time ever seeing it. Pull it up, Arch. The
Okay, what's
Chaikin Monster. This is one of those watches that Independent AD offered me. They're actually quite limited. It's a collab with Louis Arand or
How do I
something.
spell Chaikin? CH. How do I
Y.
spell
Put a
that?
Y in there.
CH.
AY.
For me,
Yeah,
here we go.
Stingray straps give
Look at
me
this strap. Look at the strap. That's toad.
On this here, that is toad.
Toad leather. Yeah, you see the little bumps on it?
See, that gives me trypophobia. Same with Stingray straps. They give me trypophobia.
Fuck. Toad. What sort of toads? Cane toads or?
I don't know. I've never heard of such a thing.
You sure?
I was thinking that's
Toad.
probably it's probably you probably can't import it into certain countries. I'm sure they have all those restrictions.
I wouldn't be
I'm
putting
sup-
that in my mouth, would you? Would you be sniffing it? Cane
Well,
toad
you
strap?
tend to sniff everything, but I probably would pass.
Me too.
That's
You were offered one of these, weren't you?
yeah, they're like $5,000.
Yeah,
But
did you get it or not? What happened?
No, it's got the ETA shitter in it. It's when a watch has a $200 movement and it's $5,000, it's like kind of a buzzkill. That's what I'm
Right,
saying. That's
folks,
why I go back to that glass Huta. At least you're getting some quality shit for that. It's always something.
Right, folks, it's just gone 1 a.m. and I've got to be up early tomorrow to go to London. So thanks for having me on. It's been great talking with you.
Okay, take care, man.
Hey, that's no problems at all. It's been great to have you here.
Cheers. Good night.
See you later. What a nice guy, isn't he nice?
Yeah, nice guy.
He's a lovely guy. And so what
And
made
then
you
there
turn
were
it?
two, and then there were two.
And then there were two. What happened?
You always make it sound like a tragedy. I passed. That's all.
Yes.
Would you get this?
I thought you were keen on it. It is a
It
funky
is cool.
watch.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's kind of what made you pass on it. It's got the shitter movement or what? It is. Were you offered the set? Because normally you can get them as two in a
No.
set.
You can buy the set, but that's more limited. It's like I forgot the numbers on it. I think the set it was like 50 pieces. I'm spitballing here, and the individuals.
Which
there were
color
like
one were you offered?
100.
'Cause There's
Well,
two
they're different
colors.
sizes. The green is a 42, and the purple is like a 39 or 38.
Which one
maybe
were
it's
you
more.
offered?
The green. The green.
Oh, the green. That's the better one, isn't it? The 42.
I think so. Well, they're
what made
different.
you
If you look at the way they
You know
apply the-
who this. I told you who this reminds me of. That TV show.
Yeah. Right. I
You
don't
don't
know
agree
the
or
show,
not?
but you yeah, no, you pulled it up.
Yabba
It got-
dabba goo, yabba dabba. You know that with
That sounds like Fred. That sounds like the Flintstones, though.
no, yabba gabba. You know that TV
Oh.
show?
No, I'm not familiar. No.
Yabba Gabba. Yabba Gabba. There was a TV show. It was a British
No,
show.
I remember. You pulled it up. It does look like that. You're right. It's kind of like
Okay, we'll just-
Monsters Inc. You know Monsters Inc.
Yes, sir. Here we go. I'm just bringing it up now. That's the character on the show. Remember? Yabba Dabba. Yo
Yeah.
Gabba. Gabba. Yo Gabba Gabba.
That looks like Mike the Snake's upvote
What do you think?
character. Yeah. So what's next? What's the deal? What do you got going?
So this is that type of watch.
No, I see.
So what's happening with you then? So basically you got the writers' strike happening.
Yes.
Fuck. That's a bummer.
It could be a while too. You never quite know how these things go.
So what are you supposed to do to survive in the meantime?
Well, that's why you save your money.
I see. Does that worry you, or it'll be resolved and back to work?
It'll be resolved. Yeah, it'll be at the most. I would say 6 months, maybe a few months. Hopefully.
Don't those writers, they earn good money doing television? Isn't there big money in it or not?
Yeah, but it's something like 10% of the actual guild actually works. This is a common thread in a lot of these unions. You have a lot of members, but not a lot of people are actually working. Okay, so this is another issue that kind of goes on, but in either case, it's best that they get the best contract. I mean, they're fighting against these huge companies, Netflix, Universal, Warner Brothers, Disney. It's like the list goes on, and they're kind of getting bullied by them. So it's best that they get the proper deal.
Okay. Mind you, the networks are being slaughtered by things like YouTube, aren't they?
Not and at the end of the day, their bottom dollar, they're making a profit, and it's a good one.
Okay.
So it's only right that the people that are helping them earn this profit are also paid.
We were talking the other day. We had a bit of a talk. We were talking about some TV shows, particularly in England. There's a British police show called The Bill, and it went from the early 80s up until I think 2011 it went until, and 30-year reign. And the thing is, what we found was that a lot of the cast, when they had a long role, when a character was written out, some of the cast found it, they actually tried to commit suicide.
Wait, what? Wait, so what do you mean by that?
Well, some of the members committed suicide. They couldn't handle the fact that the show was ending for them.
Oh, sure.
You know what I mean? Like you can.
Well, that's ridiculous. You know it's going to come to an end. It's almost more lucky that it continues. And you're grateful for how long it lasts. But everyone knows it's coming to an end. But that is certainly something to think about. These people get all this fame on one show, and for a lot of those people, that's going to be the peak. It's a sad thing to think about. It's not even worth mentioning, really, but it's the fact of the matter. You have 4 stars on a show. Not all 4 are going to keep going, to become Hollywood hits. So you kind of, be grateful for what comes your way, and if more comes, then that's a beautiful thing.
That's exactly it, isn't it? I mean, you've got to be so. In your own game, right? You have to be. I mean, how do you handle it if things stopped? If you got no more work again, what would you do yourself there? How do you mentally?
I'm really blessed. I mean, luckily my wife works too, so
yeah, she's got her own business.
Yeah, we have that going, but yeah, I don't know. If you are. There's certain people in life, if shit really hits the fan, I'll figure it out. I'll get but this has worked, and there's always going to be TV shows being made and movies, and there's always going to be, things that people are going to watch. So there's always going to be work.
Yeah. Like I was between gigs. I did taxi driving. I've done Uber. I've done limousine driving. I've done now these aren't necessarily glamorous jobs.
No, but you can get by. You can figure it out. You don't have to sit on the side of the road with the sign. You can figure out, okay, let me get off my ass and do something, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think in YouTube we'll have the same thing? Like people, this entertainment business, there's no guarantees. There's no guarantees this will go forever.
Right. Well, I remember
Is
when
there?
when the rates were better, you know, not only for
Mhm.
YouTube, even, you know, they say the Lyft and the Uber in the beginning, people were making
Mm.
pretty good money with that. And then they
Yeah.
lowered all the rates. The same with the Google ads, you know, and all the views. You know, at one time it was
Mm.
much higher paying, and now you're at the mercy of them because, you know, what are you going to say? No.
Well, that's exactly it, isn't it? It's very, very tough. And you know, sometimes, particularly, how old are you, Kalsowitz?
I'm in my
Early
30s.
Early 30s. Like I'm in my 50s. Is as you said to me the other day, you said there is ageism in Hollywood. There's a lot of ageism.
Yes. Yes.
And as you
indeed.
said to me, the 50-year-old guy, he's an expert. He's so good at it, but they want a young and peppy guy.
It can work both ways, you know. Sometimes they don't
Mm.
want, we don't want the, you know, the old school mentality, and next thing you know, they want, we want to see 25 years experience. It's like, well, which one do you want, you know?
Yes.
There's
Yes.
different ways of looking at it, you know. Even in my 30s, you know, I show up on set in a position I have, it's like, you look quite young, you know. So there's a little bit of proving yourself in those first few days, you know. You know, most
Oh,
of my assistants are a lot
see.
older than me, so. But who
Yes.
cares? You know, once you start working and people see what you actually do, all that goes away, you know. So it really doesn't matter.
Hey, I want to bring up a photo. This is of Bud the Stud's collection. Do you want to see a Bud the Stud collection?
Please.
Let's bring this baby up. I'm just going to bring
He's
this
been
up
in the
on...
community quite some time.
Yes, he has. He's a great guy. He is
Yes.
fantastic. Have you ever considered doing some YouTube?
Not really.
No.
I mean, I like coming on here with you, but not. It's a lot of work, you know.
Yeah, no.
And what am I going to say? You know, so many things I see out there, you know, like I see the Teddy Baldassari's and the, you know, the Theo and Harris. I'm like, they're doing it really well. I'm like, fuck, to make it that good and compete, you got to be full time. I mean, I'm the type of guy, I'm all in, you know, so I'm not going to half-ass some bullshit, you know, so
Yeah.
I haven't really brought
Okay.
myself to doing it.
No. Hey, look at this. What do you think
All
of
right,
this
so this
collection
is the
here?
whole collection here. It's a 6-piece.
So we got, he's very Bud the Stud. This is he's got an Amiga Seamaster
Is this
on the
everything?
end.
Is this everything?
No, this is just his. I don't know. I have no idea.
That's all I could fit on in the photo.
Yeah, it's got some sort of theme to it. This is
Fuck, it's mid-range, isn't it? That's all
this is
Tudor
actually
and.
no. This is for Mr. Tudor. He did this for Mr.
Okay.
Tudor, and he says so. He's got Amiga 300 wave dial. He's got the Tudor. Look at that beautiful GMT Explorer 2 Tudor, right? The Black Bay Pro.
Mhm.
He's got a. Is that a PVD? PVD Tudor?
It could be ceramic. Now, do they do ceramic?
Ceramic?
You're probably
Ceramic?
right. Yeah, you know what? It's a Tudor. It's probably PVD.
He's got a Ranger. He's got a Royale, and he's got the two-tone Diet
Root beer.
Pepsi there. Look at that. Isn't that a beautiful
Diet root beer,
beautiful-
right?
I thought it's... Yeah, you're right. Your Diet root beer... I think it's yellow. I think... But what do you think of it? Just as a collection there. Yeah. Looks
Too much
like the
mid-range. As a
Here we
6-piece
go.
alone.
Bravo.
Wait,
$10. Looks like
There
the
we go.
Raptor R has landed. Congrats, Bud.
oh yeah, look at that. Nice truck.
You don't like Tudor? Why are you second guessing? Tudor's so...
I mean, I think maybe you have one, but if you have 2 or 3 Tudors, you know, you got to trade in for Rolex. I mean, what are you doing? This is just too much mid-range.
Yeah, they're cool, but they're cool. They're very cool.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah,
You're
it's
not
just not
tempted.
exciting. It's just it's like you know, a garage full of C240s.
Because the reason I was saying this, instead of getting a expensive one watch, you could get a nice little collection going.
If you saw a car garage and it was full of 1 and 2 series Beamers, I mean, it's like, why do you have so many of these like beginner?
Yeah, but you'd be the only one who would do that, but don't you think?
There's a reason.
Mm.
You can only wear one at a time, so you might as well step it up and have something fucking cool, you know. Just too much
Yeah.
mid-range.
Okay.
Just my take. I do get that. You know, some people don't want to wear an expensive watch, though. You know, even though they can afford it, they prefer just having a cheapie. So if that's the case, you know, then this is a good set. But I'm just giving you my take. You know, this could be good for the right person. You know.
Yeah, it can
Because
be
for a
good.
lot of people, they get that feeling, you know, when you wear a certain watch, whatever that price point is for you. Maybe it's, you know, $500, $5,000, $10,000. There's a certain point where, you know, maybe I should cover this watch up. You know, it's like, or you're scared to wear it. You know, so if that's the case, then this is a great collection.
Yeah. Do you cover watches up?
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Oh, you
No
do.
doubt. Oh, certainly. Most certainly, or I don't wear it, you know. But there's certain times when you know, maybe you go somewhere unexpected, and I get the jacket and I cover the what, definitely. And in Los Angeles, definitely.
Oh, I see. They don't. What's wrong in LA? Tell me this.
It's just better to not attract attention, and you know.
You don't want to be a Rolex wearing, Mercedes Benz driving, Trump. So you took the Trump sticker off
Trump?
the car?
Where are you getting Trump from? No, not me. It's crazy that guy's gonna. You know, he could win. That's the craziest part. Oh.
JL, $8. Panel, what vintage watch around would you buy for a family member? Retirement Rolex, baby. JL, panel, what vintage watch around would you buy for a family member retirement? Oh, JL, tell us more. Tell us more. A retirement.
I gotta tell you, you know what I was thinking lately that would be a really amazing watch for a family member is to get them a birth year watch. You know, especially you're looking at vintage already. You know, as long as it's not, you know, it's hard to track that down if it's like 50s, 60s, 70s. But if it's like 80s or 90s, you could probably, you know, find one for them.
The problem I have is, right, I was 72, so the Submariners, the GMTs, they're all haggard and very expensive. And then the other side is you have things like 6694, you know, just little 34 mil. They're very small as well. So you could go for a date just, I suppose, but they're often haggard, very haggard, you know, haggard.
Yeah.
That's kind of, what would you get? Okay, so JL's saying, what vintage watch around would you buy for a family member retirement? I think myself, okay, so somebody, okay, let's work this out.
Yeah.
So let's just go backwards, okay? So it's 2023. That means they'd have to be 65. So that's 1958. If they born in 58, you know what I would get them?
1016.
No. We want to keep it realistic too. We don't want to be too crazy. Let me give you two watches, okay?
Tell me.
I reckon a perfect retirement gift would be if they're old school and conservative, I'd go for a 16233. That's a classic date just. You know what I'm saying? That is a classic date just. Okay, because
the champagne dial.
Champagne, you could get it with any number of dials, right? So that's a Rolex 16233. I would go no holes case.
Right? It's a bit dated, no?
No, but these are people who are born in, they're 65-year-olds.
Yeah, right. That's right. That's probably right up his alley. Yeah. I hear you.
If you wanted to go a little bit, okay, you can go for a 16234, which is the steel with the white. God, look at this. Actually, this This is actually a 1622. I actually owned. What's that?
This is probably cheap now.
$10,000, $10,000, 9,000 Aussie. What's that? That is about 6 or 7 US. Okay. See, I reckon that's a fantastic gift because it's if you're going to give a watch, it really should be waterproof. It should be right. Now, you know what another alternative is? If this is a trendy, cool person, you know what I would give them?
What?
So this is one option if they're conservative, older, like your father or something. You know what I'm saying? Because my dad has a 16234 he loves. You know what I'd give if it was somebody who was, I would go Tudor Black Bay. I reckon this.
You like that burgundy, don't you? You had that before.
I love the burgundy. Yes, I do.
Are you going to get the new one? What do you think of the new one? Jubilee bracelet.
No, I'd get it on the Oyster. I'd get it on the Oyster. If I was going to get one, I'd get it on the. Actually, just double check. Is that steel and yellow gold? Actually, that is kind of the root beer. You're right. That is a root beer, isn't it? Sorry, I just had a mental block.
No, it's good bang per buck. I mean, Tudor for $3,000, it's hard to beat.
Yeah. I reckon that's a great present. Tudor, nothing wrong with a tuna. Okay, that's what I would be giving. Now we've got some super chats coming in fast. Patel Philippe, $5.50. Stop, Archie. Stop quoting JL Oyster Date 34 mil shitters. 18238 FICA.
Speaking of 34 millimeter shitters, let's pull something up after this. Remind me.
I would rather go with the 18238. I think the clasp improvement is fucking. Got to be careful because some of the early ones had the older clasp, but I reckon this classic day is cool. It's a very cool watch to have there. And we got JL, $8. Pre-ceramic bluesy. Would he get member to the Bluesy Brothers? Yes, he would. Yes, he would. Pre-ceramic bluesy. So that'd be a 16610, except it'd be 613 for the two-tone. Yeah, that's a great watch. And I'd think that's a beautiful watch. Yep. Yeah, I love my blue. You know what? I do love my bluesy. Don't you love Starchy? Shit, he's negative. I can't believe you thought your poverty pack BMW was going to bring in viewers. Ha 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 ha. Thank you, Starchy. What a nice guy, hey? Isn't he nice?
Very nice. Are you still contemplating van life?
That's a good question, actually, you know.
Why don't you rent a van, go to Darwin, visit our boy, Mr. GMT, and you could just test it out for a week and see how it goes.
I think the problem is, look, life is what you make of it, right?
That's true.
And it's
Are you thinking about that for a second? You should ask yourself that sometimes.
Yeah. Look, I got to be totally honest with you. I'm okay. Everything's okay. Van life is for lose. I don't know. Look, I think realistically, I find it really hard to understand why the world has got a housing shortage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What the fuck's going on?
Did you see the new thing Elon Musk got? I think it's called Boxable. It's a prefabricated home that it's folded and it comes on a truck and they unfold it. Pull it up. Let's see it. Maybe you could buy a little parcel out in Brisbane, $25,000 mark. You just trade in the 5096.
Boxable.
I think that's what it's called. Let's see here.
I see.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, 50 grand. There you go. Full home. Unfolds in an hour. This is all you.
Mm.
So I mean, I see things like this, and I think, why can't they just build a shitload of those out in the fucking desert?
The
And
problem is they
everybody,
become slums.
well, it's better than no option. I mean, look at the streets. It's a slum everywhere you look. I mean, you can't have that either. People are shitting and pissing out in front of people's homes, and there's needles everywhere. I mean, it's like you got to do something.
Yes, interesting concept. Boxable. That's a really interesting concept.
Or, they do the shipping container homes. I'm sure you've seen those. There's efficient
Yes.
ways of building.
Very interesting.
People would rather spend money on war and these things.
I got to tell you something seriously. JL, I think a two-tone pre-ceramic bluesy is a fantastic. That's a lot of money. Do you want to spend that much, Bart?
How much are these? 14 grand?
You're talking US dollars, you mean?
Yeah.
Not cheap. Yeah. Let's have a look. Let's go and have a look at David. See, in America, it's different to Australia. Actually, that shooter, by the way, just to clarify, that's the Black Bay GMT S&G. That is yellow gold. It's not rose. Okay. So now let's go and have a look.
But it's got a brown bezel. So anyway, yeah, David SW. Hey, after we look at David SW, I want you to look at this website, Watchfinder, because they have a deals section that has a couple good options. Well, let's see what he's got these bluesies for. 20 grand.
No, but that's for a 41.
Shit.
That's 41. That's 41. That's 41. That's 41 mil. Okay.
So what? It's gonna be 2 or 3 grand less.
That's the current model. Here's an older one. 15. There you go. 15.
Yeah.
That's not the end of the world, is it? 15.
I mean, you can get a Batman for that. 15, 16.
Sorry, you were saying Watchfinder. Let's have a look.
Yes.
Watchfinder.
They have a watch. Well, that's where I found that glass Huda, but there's another watch in there. It's a JLC.
Oh, they have different currency. Okay, let's put the region.
Yeah.
We'll put that as United States. Go US.
They have different distribution, and they have a place in Texas where a lot of their watches come out of. Go to promotions on the top left.
Okay.
Top left, yeah. So here, listen to this. So I called them to try and haggle them down on that glass Huta because I figured, hey, why not? They have it listed for the 41,100, and I just said, hey, I'll give you 3,600 right now. I'll pay you right now. Not a dollar off, Paul. Not a dollar off. They said everything in this red section that's in their promotions, it's either at cost or they're losing money. And they all fucking say that, but no bullshit. Yeah. I even said 4,000. No bullshit. It's 4,100. He wouldn't take $100 off. No haggle. So I was like, okay, they're not bullshitting with this. Anyway, so go down. There's a JLC rose gold geophysique. Here, you should have a look. Maybe just go to JLC or go to page 2. You might have to break it down by brand to find this fucking thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Some of their prices are really good in this section. I mean, even that blue overseas right there was 29.
Oh, there we go.
Look at that, 8 grand, 8 fucking grand, full set, rose gold. This is a hand finished movement. I mean, not fully, but you get some hand finishing.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this deal.
Amazing bang per buck, isn't it? What do you think?
I think it's I almost want to pull the trigger. I just don't think I'll wear it that often, But that's a fucking
grand.
Isn't that a killer deal?
And the size on this thing here is just under 40, 39.6. Nice.
It's fucking perfect. Yeah. You know what? And another. I mean, I never bought from these guys, but on the phone. So look at this: 14-day return policy, no questions asked. Okay, so you could just fucking willy-nilly buy it, and no fee on the credit card. Just whatever the price is, you can pay credit card. The only bitch is they charge you tax, but some other dealers, if you're out of state, they won't get you on the tax, but you're supposed to pay it anyway. But I mean, it's pretty, and they give you a 2-year warranty, Watchfinder, on all their watches. And another thing, because he said he couldn't negotiate the price down, he said, I'll give you an extra year on the warranty. I'll make it a 3-year warranty. I mean, what other fucking dealers are doing that? That's pretty legit. I mean, they're owned by Richemont. I mean, you got to remember, Watchfinder is owned by Richemont. So, anyway, so
it's just the same as that. Yeah, they're London. They're based in. They're all around the world, aren't they?
Yeah. So they have an office in New York. But it's funny because I asked him, I was like, so are your watches available to be seen in New York? Mainly because I wanted to get an extra photo of the box and
Look at the duometer, 20 grand.
Yeah,
Look at this.
20 grand. Look at that. That's normally 30 grand. I don't know what the fuck is going on over there. I mean, that's a killer deal. Dude. I mean,
would you buy that? Or
I mean, you're looking at bluesies for 15 grand. You want to spend another 5? You get full gold hand finishing,
but it's a different
double mainspring barrels. The tech on this one, you got to look it up. This is beyond what most people.
I know.
First of all, but most people don't know. Even if you walk into the fucking boutique at JLC, they can't even explain to you what this watch was. You got to go online. This is like this is a niche within it. This is very inside baseball. You really got to be into the shit to be able to appreciate something like this. German silver and the chronometry is just next level. Completely next level. 20 grand, that's amazing bang for buck. It's hard to say which one's the better buy, the Duomet or the Geophysique. Both.
Well, it depends how much you want to spend, It's sort of
another thing about the design of this watch that a lot of people don't mention, you see the dial itself.
What other brands? Let's look at some brands here.
I just have a point. I just have a point on that Duomet real quick. It's interesting how they put the dial on the right, because the reason they put it on the right is because when your dress cuff is covering, you only have to poke it out a tiny bit. You don't have to reveal the entire watch.
To see the time.
Yes. Yeah. I found that to be kind of a cool feature. But anyways, sorry.
No, it's very, very. By the way, the BMW is PCP. It's not actually a lease. It's PCP, guys. PCP. Okay. Dave Ramsey. PCP. It's PCP. Personal contract purchase. Okay, that's what it is. It's PCP.
That's a Dave Ramsey.
Dave doesn't really approve of that. But you know what? Do you see anything wrong with using a bit of car finance? What's wrong with that?
If it's 0%, sure.
Well, I mean, the thing is, look, it's PCP. It's PCP, okay? It's PCP. And you know what? You have one nice car. You don't have to have. I don't have to keep buying a nice car. I can get out of it later.
Yeah.
Oh, P. Lucas, Arch, ticket to cash out one of your watches to JL, the retirement gift. Thank you. Geez, Starchy's so nasty. Some of these, how come they're so nasty? They're so, some people can be so.
They love you. It's all love.
Yes. I still remember that restaurant we went to. That was
Dantana's.
Amazing. Yeah, that was fucking amazing restaurant.
That's a Los Angeles classic. Many famous actors have been there.
It's not cheap, but is it?
No, but I mean, most LA restaurants are pretty expensive, but that one in particular is a little. But they dress nice, and you get there's a whole tradition behind that.
The food is amazing.
An experience. It's an experience. You don't go there for the food.
Yeah. Tell me this.
But the food was good. Remember the waiter? I went to order the red sauce. He was like, "Don't order the red sauce." I was like, "Why not?" He's like, "It's not good. Get the white sauce." He was like really a straight up. I like that. I hate when you go to the restaurant. What's the best thing? Everything. It's like, fucking thanks. Fucking thanks, dude.
Yes. I got to be totally honest with you there. It's What's happening with you? You like you had the okay. So you went over to Taiwan, didn't you? Taiwan or was it Korea? I
Yes.
can't remember. Taiwan.
Taiwan.
And you've come back. How long were you there? 6 weeks, weren't you?
About a month.
Month. You had a great time, right?
Yes.
And you're back now in America.
That's right.
And what do you want to do now? What's the big driver for you?
You know, so I'm
You know
I
what?
love
How many
li- I
watches
love
have you got? What watches have you got? What watches have you got? Tell me what watches you got. What do you got?
Okay,
Tell me
let's
what you
go
got.
from the bottom. We got the Seiko SKX, the beginner, the baby, what started it all. And then I got the Explorer 1, 39 mil Mark II.
Explorer 1, yeah.
And then we got the Batman from the AD,
Yep.
2018. And then the Glashütte CQ, 39 mil.
Can I say something to you?
Always. Tell me.
You know what? Maybe
It's
you got
perfect.
enough watch.
I'm done. I know.
Maybe you got enough watch. Just
I
stop. No, it's
know.
like I mean, seriously, right?
You know what? That's why I'm not making any moves, Paul. Because you know what? I'm really happy. No bullshit. I'm happy.
You know that
I'm
30
really
grand
cool.
you got saved. You know what? Is that in addition to your emergency fund?
Oh yeah. I mean, the watches are all play money. It's throwaway.
You know what? You know what? Why don't you just put that to the side for a
Retirement?
rainy day?
Oh, I know.
Because how old you? Early 30s, mid 30s.
I know. I tell myself that all the time. Like every time you get
You
a
know what?
watch, you're just like
You know
taking
what?
away from your
You know
retirement.
what?
You're just gonna have to work longer. Tell me.
Would you get a new Subaru? The Subaru's going fine. How old's the Subaru?
Yeah, it's fucking great. It's I bought it brand new in 2014. So what is that? 9 years.
How many miles you got on the clock?
Oh, a lot. I've driven the shit out of it. I think 120,000, but it's fucking great. You know
Still
what?
going. Okay.
You know what?
You know
It's funny you're talking about cars because I look up cars all the time. You know, do you have that app Turo where you can?
Yeah. I love Turo.
I fucking use Turo all the time. It's amazing. I've rented.
Oh, you
M4s.
hire cars. You hire cars.
Yeah, you rent it from the owner for the day or for several days. I've rented Porsche Panameras, 911s, M4s.
You rented a 911?
Oh,
What the fuck?
Yeah. You can get Lamborghinis. You can get anything. A lot of those require a deposit, but they give it back to you as long as you don't fuck it up. It's amazing. So you know, when I start getting the itch to get a car, I drive it, and then I realize I actually don't want it. You know, I really wanted the new Corvette. I was like itching to get the new Corvette, and then I rented it, and I was like, "Fuck this thing." I mean, it's cool, but it's like, you know, it's not. Here's the thing: you get the Corvette. You know what pulls up next to you? The Lamborghini.
Lamborghini.
You know, you get the Lamborghini, the Rolls Royce pulls up. They're always gonna be, you know, you buy it for yourself if you really want it, but if you think you're like, you know, trying to prove something, it's ridiculous, you know.
I've got to be honest with you. I love the BMW. Right?
Do you?
I really
You
do.
seem to flip flop on that. You seem sometimes you love it and sometimes you
No. Let me
regret
just
it.
tell you what I'm trying to tell you is I love it. Right? It's a beautiful car, but you know what? I'm getting sick. I realized it's expensive. It fucking they're expensive, these things, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually thinking waiting. There's a big tax write-off I got, which I'd have to pay back if I sold it too soon, right? But if things turn really shit, I'll get rid of it. Get rid of the other Honda. We got a Honda Civic. It's our beater.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of getting like a baby SUV, like a Mazda or a Toyota baby.
Why don't you go electric? Why don't you go electric? You got a house. You can charge.
They're expensive. They're expensive.
You guys don't have rebates? We have incredible rebates here right now in California. First of all, they lowered the price on the Tesla. There's a federal tax credit of $7,500, and then California is offering I think it's another $7,500. So it's like 15 grand off the car. So a Tesla is 40 grand. You end up paying 25. It's like if you're buying a gas car, you're kind of an idiot. Unless you need a really big car like a truck or an SUV.
I kind of wanted a gas car before they stopped them.
Mm-hmm. Like what?
Like
a 4Runner? What are you talking?
No, the car I got now, the BMW. That's why I got. I wanted when I bought that.
You wanted gas? Sure.
I wanted gas before it stops. You know what I mean? But tell me, you know what I'm really
You know what
thinking
kills
is,
me on the lease? You know, because I look
Uh,
at those lease deals all the time. You know, like the X5 is $1,000 a month with yada yada down. It tells you in the contract the total payments, and it's like 40,000, and then you got to give the fucking thing back. It's like, what a fucking
yes,
waste.
yes,
You're giving them
yes.
40,000 and you give the car back. It's like, what? I just can't bring myself. And then when you look at buying it, it's like there's so many cars that are out of the question because they're unreliable, you know? So it's like buying a Beamer, Mercedes, Audi, all these cars are just fucked, you know? The Range Rover. Fuck. The only cars you can really
There's
buy
nothing,
are a Toyota or a Lexus.
there's nothing wrong with a fucking Subaru you've got. They're a good,
No.
reliable car. The only thing is with Subaru, I have heard they can be a money pit when the 4-wheel drive system gets a bit old, and it's just get rid of it then. Get rid of it. Get out of
I
it.
think
You
that
know what I
happens
mean?
when people drive tires that don't match, or they don't, you know, they're not rotating tires or doing anything like that. You know, the only thing I'll say about the Subaru is it eats oil. I got to add oil to it in between oil changes.
You got the 2.5 liter 4, haven't you?
That's
The
right.
flat
Yeah, you
4.
know. Yeah, Boxster
Yeah,
engine. That's Porsche technology.
yeah. Scotty Kilmer talks about that engine not being the greatest.
No,
You know,
it
you know that.
it's a interesting design if you research it, but it's an engine burner at the end of the day. So you just, as long as you watch it, it's fine. You know, it's been great.
Yes, yeah.
But
But the thing
keep,
is, maybe for
yeah.
you, I don't think you fucking need anything. You know that?
No, I'm good. I'm happy.
So the Seiko SKX, that's good.
I mean, it's a
39 mil.
shitter.
Okay, but let's
$200.
face
Yeah.
it. The
Yeah.
39 mil Explorer one, that's a fucking beautiful watch. You got a Batman, right?
Yep.
And then you've got the CQ, haven't you? The glass hoot
Yes.
CQ, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Which is that's kind of a funky kind of thing, isn't it? You know what I mean? Something
It's
different,
cool.
you know?
I've never seen anyone else wearing one.
You know what? Maybe that's it. Do you really
That's it.
fucking need more than that?
Well, here's what's next,
Like-
Paul. Maybe you go. Okay, so hear me out. So you know, I showed you those watch boxes. I'm interested in getting one. The Bosphorus leather. Pull it out. I think you approved of these. But see, here's my question: do I go with a watch box that has a six openings or 8? Do you get the 8 watch case or the 6 watch case? You know, and this is really going to determine,
You know what?
where I
tell
go
you
with the collecting, because I have 4 at the moment, but the SKX really doesn't need to be in the box. So call it 3.
Okay, you know what?
Hit me.
You don't need a fucking fancy box. You know that? Really?
They need a home. They need a home. They're just sitting.
But
you know?
burgles, you got to have the
Say-
stuff in the bank safe.
I know, but
You
what
know-
are you gonna do? Just put it in the fucking safe, just face down? I mean, it's like they
Look.
need like a little spot, you know.
Look, these are beautiful.
This
They're
is part of watch
romanticized.
collecting, you know. Eventually, you get a box. It's like part of the whole, you know, je ne sais quoi.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. You know what? For you, seriously,
Just get the 3 watch roll. Fuck it. Go cheap.
fuck it. Just, you know what I mean? The watch. I mean, look, seriously, right?
You have
know-
one, don't you? I've seen your photos. You have a box. Not the
No.
LV. You have the shit. You have another shitty one I've seen.
They were all taken.
What?
I got
With
nothing.
the glass lid.
I got nothing. Yeah, they're all gone.
Fucking. All right. Well, buy one of these.
No, but you know what? I don't know if I want anything because I kind of feel, you know what? I got them all in the bank. I don't really want to have them in one spot. I don't want to do that anymore. Okay. I'm just telling you, right? I mean, I love some of this stuff they have here.
Well, not Fratello. What is it? Oh, that's the
no.
article.
Yeah. That's the article there. Look. You know what? For you, maybe a roll, right? What do you think of Wolf? But you don't like Wolf? What's wrong with Wolf?
Cheap, fucking cheap, garbage.
They got some reasonable stuff there.
No, it's good. It's good. I just like this guy. He's in Turkey. You're supporting the Turkish culture, especially at this time. It's handmade. It's real leather. I'm into I like the artisan shit. I'll pay more for really good quality. What I don't like is the LV shit where you're paying for the fucking brand, but I'll pay for the quality. You know, if someone spent the time to sit there and make something fucking gorgeous like that, I
Look
appreciate
at these
that,
little
you know.
simple rolls here. 500, 400, 300 bucks.
Is this Bosphorus? You're not.
Yeah, Bosphorus. What
Yeah,
more do
they're
you want
nice,
than that?
right?
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you need, isn't
The
it?
only
Look at this.
thing with the rolls that's kind of annoying is, you know, if you want to get to the middle one, you have to take
know.
the yeah, you got to take the fucking thing.
I know.
That's kind of
I know,
annoying, but
I
whatever.
I know. But isn't that just a nice way to go? I mean, seriously.
Yeah, but
oh,
then what
fuck.
happens if I get another watch? There's going to be no spot for it, you know. So that's why I'm thinking ahead here.
What color would you go for? I like this blue.
I think gray.
The gray.
Oh, blue.
The gray.
Yeah, I think
Togo
gray.
dark gray.
You know, it kind of depends on what watches you're going to put in there. If you ask me.
Yeah, that's a point.
Because there's like an Hermes orange, which is like cool, but then if I don't know.
You can pick cushion size as well. Fuck,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
so because there's nothing. That's the one thing that sucked
Yeah.
with the LV. It was one size. That's it.
Yeah, if you have a big and I heard if you get the wrong one, he'll exchange it for you if you fuck up and realize you got the and you can get it initialed. Not that you need to, but it's kind of cool that he
That's
offers
cool.
that.
It's very cool, isn't it? So you know what? I think for you, right? How far in front are you on your payments on your without getting too personal? Your apartment.
In front? What do you mean?
Like
I'm not behind.
Much? Okay, no, but do you have
do I
extra
pay
payments?
towards principal?
Yeah.
Occasionally, but not honestly. I should do it more, but I don't.
What?
But the rate is so good. It kind of feels silly to be paying off.
Oh, you're locked in a low rate.
Yeah, so if you know interest rates are like more than double that, so it's kind of like silly to be. It is smart to pay it off, but there's just something psychologically lately that's held me back just because it's kind of silly to pay down debt that has such a low interest rate. It's the house. It's my only debt.
How much do you owe on it? Is that rude to ask or not? I don't know.
I don't want to say. I don't.
Okay, it's okay.
I'm very blessed. I'm a blessed human.
Your equity is 50%.
I'm really grateful.
What equity have you got in it? 50%. Just give me a percentage.
Somewhere in there.
Okay.
I got a ways to go. Let's put it that way. As most people do. I mean, you know, it's funny. You know, the silliest thing I hear. Well, I guess I shouldn't say because I guess you did this, but you know, people get close to paying the thing off and then they refinance it. Like, cash out. What are you thinking?
Patel Philippe, $7. Kelsowitz, could Archie hack it as a method actor for most B-grade movies in Hollywood?
Definitely.
Would he be a direct to DVD extra?
Yo. If you could act in your normal self like you do, you probably could. But what the problem is, if you're not classically trained or have the right experience, no matter how funny or how good you perform on your own, when the lights are on and they roll the cameras and they hit the clapperboard and it goes dead silent, it's not uncommon to see people lock up and they don't give their true, authentic performance. But if you can overcome that, I think you can make it. Here's what you do. Get on central casting. We got to get some photos of you. We got to get some
look,
some proper headshots. We'll get a photographer. We'll get you
they don't
in your
want me. I'm in Australia. You know
bring
what?
your LV box, your case.
Look, they don't want me, okay? You know what? I've found my niche. It's doing streams. That's my niche. I got to be honest.
You could stand in for Jack Black. Jack Black. He needs a stand-in. They make good money. You know, that's a union position.
Yeah,
Sad.
I love Jack Black. Look, I kind of think myself,
IT? We're talking IT?
you know what? I would, you know, if YouTube ended, you know what I'd do? Seriously, I would actually take a little bit of a break. I need to get a little bit of a break to get my head around it, right?
Yeah.
Right?
You know,
I
all
need
your
to.
kids are moved out. What could you
I haven't
you
yet. I
consider?
got the youngest two.
Oh,
Youngest.
well, they're close to college age though. So,
Yeah, I
would
got
you
another 2
consider
years.
moving out of Australia, or are you stuck? Born and raised, you can't leave.
You know what? I'd consider anything. You know, I'll be honest with you. I really think the most exciting part in my life chapter is about to start.
Mm.
It's so incredible. I mean, the thing is, I want to be careful too. You want to be careful. I would like to stay married if I can. Okay.
Of course.
Because we've got some investments in that. But if we got divorced and start splitting and start blowing money, well, I may not ever get a home again in Australia. Well, you'd never get one in Australia.
And she's still working, right?
Correct.
That's a beautiful
correct.
thing. That's a blessing.
So the way I see it is, I would
Write it
really
out.
like. Yeah, I got a couple more years left, right? I'll
Yeah,
be honest with you. Okay, let me tell you. This is the way I look at things, right? I got a little bit of money up my sleeve, right? A couple months, okay? As you said, the 3 to 6 months, okay?
Right.
I should have more, but I've got what I've got, okay? I'm adding to it slowly, okay? I am adding to it, okay?
Yes.
Because I'm not buying a whole lot of shit. I don't know if you've noticed that. I'm not buying a whole lot of shit anymore.
Yeah, you went hard and then you kind of slowed down, I noticed.
Yeah, I got a few watches. You know what I mean? You know what I love
Yeah.
is this bluesy. I love my bluesy.
Yeah,
right?
that's you. That's very you.
But I've got to tell you, honestly, I would say for me, the best thing I can do is this. Slow down a bit. Slow down, right? Look,
Yeah.
it's pretty. I'll tell you honestly, right? You always worry about things that haven't happened. 80% of worry doesn't happen. Okay.
So true. So true.
Okay. And in life, all we can do is try our best. If we fuck it up and it's a disaster, well, we fucked it up and it's a disaster. In my own case, you know what? If the thing stopped, it pulled into the station, that's the last stop. I'd take a little bit of time out to chill out, right? A month or two, because I think you got to be in the right headspace. And I honestly would really like to. I would really like to. I got a number of things. For starters, I got rid of all my consumer debt. You know, consumer debt.
Yes, the Affirm account.
I basically pay the
you
credit
paid
card
off-
off when the statement comes in. Okay.
You paid off the Affirm account. You remember that because you had the green card as a 18-year-old.
Oh, I don't have an Amex anymore. I don't
Oh.
even have Amex.
You've been
honestly
banned, blacklisted.
I don't even like Amex. Patel Philippe, $7. Archie, why does that mod from Rolex forums that lives in your city dislike? I honestly don't know. I do not know. I got nothing against
that was
him.
when your screen name was 66, right? What was it? Remember your screen name? I can't remember now. You had it on all the dating apps as well.
Yeah. No, I got
It's
no.
the one you got banned in the Rolex forums, and then you got banned in the purse forums using the same screen name.
Yes.
We all know the story.
Yes. I got to be honest with you, okay? I think for me, I've got a little bit of emergency money, right? I'd just stop for a month. And then you got to decide what you want to do. You know what? Like, I could get rid of the car. I could hand it back. But as you said there, I've put all this money into the car. I don't even fucking own it. Archie 42. That's it. Patel Philippe. Yes.
There it is. 42. Because that was your age when you started.
Yeah, that's fucking 8 years ago.
I remember. That's
now.
exactly. Yes. It's all coming back.
You know? I got to tell you, honestly, for me, I'd take just a bit of a sabbatical, just take a month off, just to get yourself together. And I would actually, I would love to go overseas and explore and do things.
Have you ever
Um,
lived just completely spontaneously? Like, has there been a point in your life where you've just been able to wake up with no alarm and have no responsibility and just do whatever the fuck? When you're hungry, you eat. When you're
no.
tired, you
Have you ever done
sleep.
that? Have you ever done that?
Lately, yeah, lately, now that I'm not working, it's a fucking beautiful thing, you know? It's like
Do you
so many
enjoy not
people,
working?
it's a wave, you know. And when a job ends, I'm like, oh, thank fucking God, you know, get me out of here. And then after a few weeks, you start getting bored, you start getting the itch, and yeah, I do like what I do. It's quite fun, you know. It's not all about just making a buck. So eventually,
Patel,
yeah,
Patel Philippe, $7. Archie, give us the best story of you getting
yes.
banned from a watch. Look, they got no sense of humor. I remember. I think I
Now
got banned.
I think it started with the thread with you saying, "Can you wear a sub with a suit?"
Yes, yes. I used to like pushing that. You know, it was hilarious.
Which is the
Hilarious.
norm now, which is so funny. Now everyone does that, you
Hey,
know.
can I read you a story?
Please.
I was actually going through some of my. Actually, what's happened is because the burglary, I took everything out of this room. I had to clean it. We had to get new carpet, and there's some stuff I've decided to throw away. And what I did was I was going through some paperwork yesterday, and I found a few articles. One of them was a story I saved to read on the show. Mookie, $5. Archie, Ron bought Tommy's used pillow. Have you ever heard such a thing? Disgraceful. It's an expensive pillow. That's okay. It's okay. I'm going to get the story. You want me to read the story to you?
Please. Does it have anything to do with Brisbane Rail?
It has a lot to do with Rolex. Can I read you a story?
Tell me.
Okay. Okay, I'm just going to find it. Just give me a moment. Okie dokie. Just finding it now for you guys. 1 minute.
That's exciting. You got new carpet. I know the carpet beetles were a problem for a long
Oh,
time.
no, the carpet. I had already replaced the carpet 12 months ago.
Oh, son of a bitch.
Yes. I was going to read you a story. Do you want to? Okay, here's a story. Okay, here's a story. And this story is on. Actually, I got another good story for you. So, this story, memory, my dad's Rolex. When I was a young boy in the early.
Sorry,
early
you wrote
60s.
this?
No, this was
Oh.
someone wrote.
Oh.
My dad made several business trips to the United Kingdom. He returned from one of these with a new watch, a stainless steel Rolex chronometer. I had never heard of the brand, but I admired the watch from the start. Though I was only 9, I recall thinking that the watch looked like a serious piece of equipment, a real man's watch. Besides, when I asked him why he had bought that watch, considering the fact he already had a watch, he replied, "They're the best." Considering the later struggles we had with each other, there is a bit of irony in recalling that when he said it was the best, that 9-year-old boy believed it with beyond all doubt. If Dad said it, it had to be so. It wasn't too many years later that unquestioning acceptance evaporated into a long and somewhat bitter Cold War. That inescapable battle that fractures fathers and sons as the adolescent goes through the wrenching process of establishing his individuality and his independence. For us, my dad and I, it lasted a long time, almost a decade. We both were highly opinionated and we both had a temper. We loved but didn't like each other very much during those years. This went on until I was married and out of the house. In fact, the last Christmas I spent with him in 1975, there was a blow up after dinner. A few months later, then my then wife and I moved to another state. While visiting my parents a couple of years later, I noticed Dad was wearing a Seiko dress watch and I asked him about the Rolex. He replied that he liked the smaller, more convenient dress watch, but I got the impression that perhaps he had gotten tired of the other watch. Whatever the reason, the Rolex was consigned to a dresser drawer where it sat for 7 years. In early 1985, Dad came through Pensacola, and he, my brother, my then wife, and I had dinner. We had long since buried our differences, and we had a fine time that night. The next morning, he was off to a business meeting in Destin. The morning after that, I got the call from my brother telling me that he had died in his sleep the night before. The next week went by in a haze. The trip to my parents' home in Atlanta, the preparations, the funeral. As I was preparing to return home to Pensacola, my mother asked if there was anything of my dad's personal items that I wanted. I thought for a bit and told her I would like his Rolex if she had no objections.
Mm,
She didn't, so I took it home.
nice.
For the next few years, I wore my dad's Rolex. It was a way of connecting. The same mechanism that had driven by his energy, his Kai, was now being driven by my own. I had the watch cleaned and had a new oyster bracelet put on it. It looked great. I loved watching the smooth sweep of the seconds hands, but after a while it began to stop intermittently. I had it cleaned and adjusted again, but 9 months later it stopped working reliably again. My local Rolex dealer said it would probably need cleaning every 6 months to keep working at the time. I didn't know any better and believed him, so I retired the watch to the desk drawer and went back to wearing Casios and Seikos. A few years later, because the story's wrapping up, okay?
It's
so
a
don't get
novel.
A few years later, after that, my wife and I were in a bad way. Our marriage was falling apart and our financial situation was desperate. I was looking for ways to raise money to pay past due bills. I sold my camera. Then I sold my dad's Rolex. I am not one to rue the past or regret that which cannot be undone. I did what I needed to do at the time. Simple as that. I'm not really a Rolex fan, to tell you the truth, but I can tell you that there is one particular oyster chronometer out there that I would love to have another chance at. That's it.
Wow.
What do you think of that story?
That's
Fuck!
cool. I mean, there's
That story encapsulates.
yeah. Well, it's that ingraining. That ingraining when you're a youngster, when you have that authority figure that he likes the Rolex. He said, "Oh, it's the best." Like that ingrains into your head, forever. Did you ever have someone like that growing up, where you saw they had something and you're just like, "That guy is so cool. I gotta have what he had." Did you ever have something like that?
I know exactly what you mean. I know. We're speaking of brilliant guys like that. We got Mike the Snake is joining us. We'll see if we can.
He's got the Cricket Wireless. That's booting
Cricket
up here. Here we go.
wireless.
Mikey.
Hey, Mike. Hey, Mike. You know, I got to tell you something.
Is this the real Mike?
Look what I can do.
Tell me, Art. Tell me.
It's kind of strange, I've got to be honest with you there. I find it hard at times to realize that things are not always going to be the same, okay? Things
Well, hold
do
on a
change.
second. Hold on a second. So how did you first get into watches? Like, was there someone that you saw wearing one, or was it a commercial, or what was it where you were like, I gotta fucking get one of those?
Yes.
Like, what
yes.
did it? What was the seed? Who planted the seed?
Look, I got to be totally honest with you.
You did a video on it. It kind of goes over how when you were younger you liked the finer things in life, and when you were in school you couldn't afford it, but you always wanted the watches that you couldn't have, and as soon as you were able, you got your first, I think Rolex maybe. I don't remember the first watch you bought, but there's a video out there you made that kind of chronicalizes
I got to tell you,
Chronicles.
I always loved watches. You know that, Kalsowitz? I always loved watches. And it's interesting. You know, you really it's really one thing that really shook me. Can I tell you, this is one thing on the internet space that shook me. I'm going to bring this up, okay? This was a guy, right? I'm just going to bring this up. And I was a big fan of Time Zone. Time Zone. That was a watch forum from years ago. And I remember, this really affected me. And this guy here, his nickname was Donut because he had a Tim Hortons. I think he owned one of the Tim Horton franchises. And it's with a sad news that we report one of our senior moderators, Rob McLeod, known affectionately to everyone online as Donut, passed away. For over a decade, Rob was a passionate collector of Swiss timepieces and independent horology, senior moderator on the Vienna Forum, and he was, look at this, 55 years old. Fuck. 55 years old.
Damn.
And he had a real kick-ass Patek collection. He had some amazing Pateks. And I got to tell you, that just makes you realize it can all be over so quick. You know what I mean? Like you just don't realize what the fuck happens. You know?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, it's fucking painful. It's very, 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 very swift and very fucking quick, isn't it? You know? And he had some amazing. I mean, this was when people didn't have huge collections. You know, this was just amazing stuff that he had there. And I got to tell you, I don't know what to say. This is what happens, man. You know, you've got to fucking enjoy yourself. I think there's a fine line. And
well, that's just how life goes, isn't it? You know, it's been said, what would you do if I gave you $10 million right now? Would you be happy? Of course. What would you do if you got 10 million right now? It would just it'd be the best day of your life, probably.
Yes.
Yeah, but what if part of the deal was you get the 10 million, but you don't get to wake up tomorrow? Of course, you'd say no, But by you saying that every time you wake up, it's like getting $10 million,
Yes, that's true. It's we're never happy with what we got. We always want more. You know what I mean? It's sort of
grass is always greener.
Yeah. I got to tell you, it's one of these things there. It's like I mean, I think in many ways there, we never know what's going to happen. You got to always remember that. And Donut had fucking amazing perpetual calendar. He had some amazing fucking watches. Really, really. Well, he's dead now. He doesn't have anything now. But you know what, Kalsowitz? Sometimes maybe you got to take happiness out of what you already have.
What does that mean? No, I don't.
Less is more. You know what I mean? Maybe the acquisition of more isn't going to, like I mean, look, you've got a great little collection. I've really been loving this bluesy to death. I can't, honestly, if I had to have a one and done, I think that is it. That's it.
It's gorgeous.
I think that's it, really.
Why didn't you get it with the new movement?
Look, you know what? You mean the 41 mil one?
Yeah.
Well, what happened was I was talking to a friend of mine after the robbery, and he said, "Oh, come on, Arch, you got to think watches again. You got to rebuild." And he said to me, "What watch do you really? What would you like?" And I said, "You know what? I'd really love to get a bluesy. I didn't
So
want
we
the
got
solid gold."
Hmm.
And he said, "Actually, I got a 40 mil ceramic." Because he said to me, "Do you want the 41 or the 40?" I said, "It doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter." So this was a deal. He gave it to me as a
Right.
deal. You
Beggars
see, so
can't be choosers.
well, I don't think it. Look, the 41 is a little bit more valuable. They're actually
No,
they're a
fuck
bit
it.
more.
I mean, you did the smart thing. You go for the better deal. It's the same watch. I mean, who cares about a new movement? I mean, it's if
Well,
it was the
in
same
some
price.
ways, I like the 40 because it's got the gold writing. I do like the gold writing, right?
Hmm.
But I like the 41 because it's got the 72 power reserve,
Right.
and I think the proportion's just a little bit nicer. But it's got the bigger clasp, and I think the clasp on the 40 is big enough. So
Did you look up the previous owner? Did you Google the previous owner on the warranty card?
I don't think it had anyone's name on it.
What? It should. The warranty card for that should have someone's name on it. It should be filled out.
It's got the card. The card. I'm not even sure what it's got there, but I got to tell you honestly, that says a one and done. I love it. I love it.
Hmm.
I love it. I think it's just such a cool. I've actually got the warranty card in the safe, in the bank safe, so I don't even have it here. But I'll have to check it. I'll check it. But you know what? It's such a cool watch.
Yeah.
I think it's a great watch to have. I don't know. I'm happy with it.
It
I really
suits
love
you
it.
well. How's it smell?
It's fucking beautiful watch.
Retail, baby.
Retail.
Ever you used to comment on the smell of the Rolex box? You used to love that smell.
Yes. Yes. I actually got a few things I want to get rid of later. I got a few LV things left over. I want to get fucking rid of them. I got
What
my
else do you
LV.
have? What do you got?
I got one briefcase. I've got one travel bag.
Dude, where
to
the
take on.
fuck is the Archie Luxury gift shop? Dude, you need to get on Shopify. Watch a YouTube video. Fuck, you're on YouTube all the time. You need a little shop, or a little Etsy or something.
Yeah.
Always be closing. This is
closing.
easy. You're talking about getting off YouTube because things aren't going well. You have a whole nother side income, untapped.
I know what you mean. Look, they're just ideas. I mean, I put videos together. These are just thoughts of mine, you know?
No, do it. That's a good thought. That's a good one. That is actually viable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
Your little postcard is the signed. You know how many people want a signed BMW photograph from you?
I've got one.
Yeah.
Dozens.
I've got one.
I know what you're saying. Look, I got to tell you, you know what? I think realistically in the watch, I love watches still. What I love about watches, you know what I love about watches? It's something. Holy shit. The bees have got a thing happening outside my door. There's a swarm. They're swarming. Swarm. I got a swarm. Do you want me to film? Do you want to have a look at that?
Did you ever see that Black Mirror episode when all the bees turn on the people? The robotic bees?
Was it called Bees?
It's a show called Black Mirror. It was just one of the episodes.
Black Mirror. No, I haven't seen it. Yeah, when they swarm, it's pretty amazing. I've driven through a few on my motorcycle, and it was not fun. Get stung in the neck a couple times.
Oh, these are stingless bees. These
are they?
Stingless.
Wow. Do they
GMO.
You see that they're through the door? You see through the door?
Oh, yeah.
So what's the latest, Mike? What's happening?
I'll see if I can open the door. Have a look. Have a look at this swarm.
Not a lot on the Western Front over here. Just, caring for my mother now lately has kind of been very time consuming, and I see her 3 times a day, for about an hour each time. And not that I'm taking advantage of her while she's in good health and good spirits. But it does break my day up to where I don't really get much
You see the
done.
swarm there?
That's good. You're taking care of her. Wow, that's a lot of them.
Swarm cam. There we go.
You might end up with one hive dying. Sometimes they take over another and move in.
So you have the queen in there? Is the queen in there?
Each one has their own queen. Pavel, $5. Swarm cam, please. I'll just close my door.
Did you list the knives for sale on eBay?
I've got them on Craigslist right now. I don't think I have them on eBay yet.
You get more money on eBay, no?
Yeah, no, I can't remember. I gotta go look. That's my next move, though. If I haven't, I think I did. But I'm
sure there's probably some Facebook groups too that you could sell knives in. I have no idea, but I just comparing to things like watches. There's tons of groups like that.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I don't do too much social media. This is as much as I do really with Archie. But yeah, you're totally right.
I'm just saying, if you're trying to get like the most out of it.
Yeah, no, there's so many avenues and so many networking outlets that I could pump these knives. I called a custom knife shop in my area about an hour away, and the guy sounded really excited and was going to talk to his buyer.
Or do a consignment or something,
or just buy them outright from me. I don't know. We'll just see. I made them while I worked there. They're immaculate. But I'm not a knife guy like I am a watch guy. Even though I worked making knives, it was just because I was handy at the time, and my friend knew it, so he brought me in to help him out of a jam, and then I ended up sticking around there.
We got another super chat from Ron the Shrink, $5. Chingao is a philosophy of life that embraces what? Thank you, Ron the Shrink.
Yeah, that's fairly correct.
I got to tell you something, guys. Seriously, you got to make the best out of life. You know what I mean? Life gives you lemons. You got to get lemonade. You got to make lemonade, Guys, the important thing is you got to keep moving forward. And I'm very happy. We've got a great team on this stream here. We've got some great punters, great people. And I love chatting to you guys. And tell me this, Kalsowitz. I want to ask you something, Kalsowitz. Can I ask you this?
Go ahead.
So in your case there, you've built your own little niche. You're doing really well, right?
Yeah.
What do you think? I think the thing is, you've always got to be grounded. I used to be nervous. Like when I only had IT work, I always wondered what the fuck's happened. Sometimes the best thing you can do is do some base. I did taxi driving for a while because I used to be scared. What happens if I can't get a job in IT? What happens? And I thought, you know what? I'm going to try a job somewhere else just to see what it's like. Mike, you agree with that, don't you?
Sure.
Sometimes it's good to try something just to see what it's like. And I got to be honest with you. Sometimes you realize, fuck, if this is the worst that can happen, it's not too bad. You know what I mean? And
sounds like giving up.
What's that?
Just like giving yourself an out like that, having that backup plan.
Then because sometimes I had anxiety and used to really worry and nervous, and I thought, fuck, what's going to happen? Well, You got to look at
Oh,
life
I
and
see
say,
what you're saying. I mean, sure.
you know, you can say, well, that's the worst that can happen. Okay, well, I don't have to do that now, but if things go wrong, I can do that, you know?
Right.
Sure.
And
That'll always be there. There's always, you can always bag groceries or do Uber now, and there's always going to be something. If you need money and you can work, there's always going to be something.
yeah,
You
yeah.
look at the glass half full all the time, and
People fucking walk dogs for a living. Okay, there's
yeah.
a lot of ways to make money. Very easy.
Yes, yes. And I mean, in Hollywood itself there, you see a lot of, it's kind of funny when people start to believe their own bullshit. That's when things go wrong, isn't it?
Yes, so true. Yes, so well said.
What do you think? Like,
Oh my
I know
goodness. There's so many stories of that. People that are really good too. You get that. I mean, I won't say names, but I know cinematographers that have been in the business for so long and got cocky towards the end of the career and started becoming a loudmouth, and they don't work anymore. You know, it's like, even though they had such an amazing career, the list of credits is like a stuff. But then you work with the guy, and it's like, this guy's a fucking dick. It's like, and that gets around so quick, you know. And so those people don't last, you know. So, but if you're a good person and you're cool-headed and you do a good job, you those are the people that stick around, you know. But easy to let it get to your head, you know, and start, you know, thinking that it's your way or the highway, or your way is the best way, and
exactly right there. It's I think that the thing is, in you've just got to, I mean, you go into these things with different maturity, and you learn this. When it's your first time of some success, you get a bit cocky. It's very easy to be cocky.
oh yeah.
But when it's your, you know, when you've had a few ups and downs, you're like, hey, slow down. Ooh, this thing doesn't last forever. You know, you've got to be very.
Well, what I see are the guys that stay quiet and they don't say anything, and then they're amazing at their job, and you look them up, and it's like, holy shit, this guy is the real deal. And they're so humble. That to me is a bigger flex than the guy yapping the whole time. You know, and maybe they're not even that good. It's like, what the fuck? Then they're just a complete joke, you know. But it's the guys that are quiet that are so good. That's just the real icon to me, personally. They got nothing to prove. Nothing to prove.
Yeah, exactly right there. I just got to make a quick call, if you don't mind. I'll keep you on the phone. Just stay there. I just gotta quickly.
Whoa! What would Bear say?
What would Bear say? Just.
Oh my God! You're cheating. You're on the clock.
We're on the clock, hey? Hey, I'm just letting you know the bees are swarming. Do I need to do anything? Just leave them? Yeah, I'm not touching them. I'm just letting you know. Just be careful, okay? Okay, thank you. Bye.
What do you get? You get the pine tar going? You have pine tar?
Sorry, I just rang bee control. I just needed to know, what do I need to do with these bees that are swarming?
Brisbane Animal Control. Hi, this is Paul
Yeah,
Buddha.
sorry, that's okay. Just making
So
sure I
what,
don't need.
have you seen those smokers? You know, they used to calm down the bees. The smokers.
Yeah,
You
sure.
familiar? Do you have one of those?
Yeah,
That's
no,
what you
no.
need right now.
Well, these bees are
Or
not
just get
stinging
some
bees.
just get some Febreze. Just spray the shit out of that area.
Yeah. Hey, have you got power? You got?
Kessler, sometimes the most talented people are the loudest ones, like me. Chippy tea,
True,
chippy
that is
tea,
true.
yeah, what's a chippy tea? I don't want lobster thermidor or raspberry coulis, because I'm a working lad from Lancashire and I want a chippy tea.
Chippy tea. Where's he gone? I was going to sing him another line there, verse with him. I got to tell you, Mikey, do you think Kesslowitz needs to add a 30,000? What's your budget, Kesslowitz? Give me a budget. Give me a budget.
It's not a numbers thing. It's when, you know, the love meets the value, meets the passion, you know. It's not a number thing.
What are you thinking about?
Nothing in particular. The watch hunt is always evolving, and I'm always looking for deals. You know, there's always deals. There's always watches we all like, but you look at the price and it's like, eh. But if the price gets really good, maybe you'd consider it. So those things are always happening, you know, where it's just on the verge of being a good deal. So earlier we were looking at some Glashütte Senators and Jaeger-LeCoultre Geophysiques. Some of these, you know, real niche within niche watches. But,
Interesting.
Tell me this: would you ever consider? What does your wife say? Have you said to her?
Oh, that's what we didn't get to. Yes, I meant to bring that up earlier because you were looking up 34 millimeter shit. So just recently, I've been, you know, just showing her different options. Like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And just getting her take on certain watches.
Yeah.
And I showed her the 34 mil Tiffany Blue, the OP.
Yes.
You know, because they're crazy money for the 41, but the 34, they actually still make it.
Yes.
So I actually just added that to my list for the AD. But you know how that goes.
What did she say?
That means nothing. No, she likes it. She would be down, you know. And I think secondhand they're like 9,000, but you can get them for obviously like $5,000.
Why don't you maybe consider the 28 mil if your wife is petite?
I don't think they make the OP the Tiffany Blue in that size. I think it's 31, 34, 36, and 41 if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a pretty cool watch, you know. I think it's a nice color for a lady.
Yes. Guys, it's your chance to ask any watch or life questions. Come on. Super chat your question now. Control the conversation, guys.
You know it looks fucking good. I saw a couple out to dinner matching Panda Daytonas. I mean, you want to talk about a fucking flex? It was so fucking cool. I was just like, that guy is a badass.
Yeah, but
the bummer with the Pandas is just so many people wearing them that aren't watch people. So it's like you don't even want to start the conversation. You know, it's just like almost like a cliche of you're rolling your eyes at it. But sometimes they are. You never know.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying there. Tell me this. What
does your wife have? She's a Cartier?
No, all the watches were fucking stolen. So
you gotta get her something.
I got her a Oyster Perpetual 28, the new Oyster.
And that's fucking perfect. Oyster?
She doesn't really like
Oyster
it.
bracelet?
Problem.
Oh,
she doesn't.
Fuck. Well, you gotta show it to her before you buy it. Fuck, that's like basics, bro.
Yeah, but I mean it's a Rolex.
Relationship
for fuck's sake.
101.
Who doesn't like Rolex?
I mean, is it the right size for her? Does she want a bigger watch? What doesn't she like about it? That it says Rolex?
I don't know.
Wasn't she a Cartier fan? Just get her a quartz fucking get her a tank.
They've changed the tank franchise changed. I don't
Fuck
like
it.
it.
It's $3,000. It's like she doesn't like it or you don't like it.
I don't. Look,
you gotta like it. You gotta like it to get it for her. I see. You gotta like it too.
What's wrong with a 28 mil Oyster Perpetual for fuck's sake?
I mean, I think 34 is recent. I think. I mean, nothing's wrong with that. What color is it? Champagne.
Blue. No, because it's steel.
Oh,
Oyster
blue, the
Perpetual.
modern. Yeah. That's
it's
cool.
The current model. Yeah, I thought that's fucking very cool.
So what does she want? Pink?
No, she's I don't fucking know. You know what? No. I'm just telling you the story, okay? I'm just telling you the story, okay?
What happens? What does she say if you ask her what she wants?
She wants a Cartier.
Birkin.
She wanted a
Birkin.
Cartier. She likes. Fuck, it's just ridiculous. Rolex.
Why don't you get her a Cartier bracelet? The nail, the just done clue. She'd like that.
I think just get her a nice little Cartier, make her happy, move on. See, women look at watches completely differently than men. That's why, like, women are from Venus and men are from Mars. I mean, men look at an item like a car or a watch, and
well, that's the thing exactly. Most women aren't even. I mean, not to generalize,
women
generally speaking,
like
Chingao.
They're not watch people. That's the old saying, you know. They make women's watches to rip off the men that buy it for them.
You know what, Kelsowitz, in your case, there. Tell me this, man. Tell me this. Everything's going good. So you're a cameraman, right?
That's right.
You don't have to own the cameras yourself, do you?
Not the camera itself, but I do own camera equipment.
Okay. Maybe the best thing is, if I were you, have you thought about putting that money? I don't think you really. I think the problem is for you. Can I read between the lines? Can I say this to you?
Say it.
You want to prove, hey, I can buy this, and you've done well. But part of you is sort of saying to yourself, you know what? That's a lot of fucking money. Do I really need it? You know what the perfect answer might be?
That is so well said. That is exact. That sentence has gone through my head many times.
Like if it was me,
goes through a lot of people's heads.
what about if you said to yourself, you know what? I would certainly say, unless I've met you, right? You're a really cool casual guy. Those Explorer 139mm is a perfect fucking. You can wear that as a dress watch. You can wear that as anything you want, right? Let's be honest, okay?
See, those are the watches you need to find, or they can do it all. It's a watch forever. You never have to sell that.
I'll tell you what an answer is. I'll give you an answer.
Generation.
John C, $2. Arch, give her a Loris and a good shag. Thank you. That's from John C. I'm thinking maybe for you. So you got the Explorer and you got the Batman, right?
Yeah.
Explorer, Batman. You don't like Speedmasters, do you? Do you like Omega Speedmaster?
I had one. Remember
you had one. You sold it. You didn't
the
like.
Joma
it. Told
shop.
Me.
Fucking Joma shop. Remember that fucking thing? The big box. Big box.
Okay.
We did the.
Okay.
We did the fucking.
Okay. You know what?
Unboxing on your show. God damn it.
Do you want a Rolex Submariner? You don't. You don't.
I sold the Speedmaster. I sold the Speedmaster.
Yep.
I sold the Milgauss. I sold the Oris.
You know what? I think you might just have what you want.
I've been through a bunch. I know. I'm good.
I don't think you want anything.
That's why it's hard to make the next decision, because it's.
Can I ask you this? Do you invest in the share market yourself?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Most definitely.
Maybe just put it in the market. What do you reckon?
Not right now. I mean, I put a steady amount in yearly. You know, I have an IRA, a couple IRAs.
Silicon Bank is very cheap at the moment.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be dumping in at the moment. But, you know, 30 years from now, it's who cares when you bought it? Actually, it's, you know.
Let me ask you this. Okay, so okay, your house is good. You got an apartment, don't you? A house or an apartment?
Yeah, condo.
Condo.
They say apartment if you rent, condo if you rent.
Apartment means is one owner owns the whole block. Condominium's individual.
That's
aren't
right.
They? That's okay. You got a nice home. Okay, don't do anything there. You got a reasonable car. I reckon just keep the Subi until.
Yes, I agree.
You know
we
what?
discussed. I agree.
You've just come back from a big holiday. You don't need to buy anything. Just maybe it's a good idea to keep that money up your sleeve. Your industry is a bit up and down. If you got out of it, if you got out of cinema photography, cinema
around.
What would you do? What would you do? What would you do? What would you do as another career?
Oh, what I do? You know, no bullshit.
Young.
The other career I've considered, no bullshit, is to go to get a GIA certification and get into the diamond industry. I find that business fascinating. Fascinating. I know it's saturated and everyone in that business will tell you not to do it, but I just love that. I don't know. I just find that fucking interesting. And I think it'd be a lot of fun and I'd be good at it too. But a lot of unknowns, you know, I don't know anybody in that industry, and you know, my whole family is in the film business, so it's just not. That's really diving off the edge of the diving board there, but it intrigues me, you know. I read a book called How to Buy a Diamond. It's actually a fascinating book.
Yes, I think I read that book myself. I actually was interested in diamonds myself.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
the
very,
4 C's.
It's very lucrative.
Actually, did I tell you? Actually, can I tell you, Kelsowitz? I don't know if you know my story, but I was actually keen I've bought and sold quite a few diamonds myself.
Well, I remember you worked at that jewelry store. Right?
Yeah, I went and worked there. I thought, you know what? Instead of starting my own jewelry store, I want to see what one looks like.
You cleaned all the glass on the showcases.
Yeah.
I know
and
you,
you know
bro.
what?
I
The
know
boss
you.
said to me, because it looks so comfy, these stores, they said, if I catch you sitting down, you're fired.
Ooh.
So you're
I mean,
never
you should-
allowed to be sitting down. You're always on your feet.
You know that I kind of agree with that. I mean, I hate to tell you, but I worked with a Japanese assistant when I was a camera assistant, and I'll never ever forget that. One day she told me that because I sat down one day and she goes, Jordan, I just want to let you know you look really lazy when you sit. And I just thought, oh fuck. And I
How
never
old
sat
was
again.
she?
I never fucking sat again on that job. I was like, that's
She,
I was like, how old was she? She was older than me, of course. I mean, I started when I was 19, so.
you didn't have a relationship with her.
No, hell no. She was like my boss.
Okay. They could have helped. In Hollywood, they all do that. What the fuck do you mean by that?
Yeah, sitting is never a good look.
So tell me this. That's what she said to you. It's never a good. Was she good? Did you learn a lot from her?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Very hard worker. She was like 6 months pregnant and still carrying cases. And like she was like no
Wow.
bullshit. She was a badass.
I see. Do you still do work with her now?
No, that's one thing in this business. You know, you do a job together and then it's almost never the case that that crew will be back together. People always go in different directions, you know.
Wow.
So maybe you run. I've run into her, like you know, prepping and doing, you know, but not on another series.
Wow, that's so.
I worked
incredible.
on a show called Pretty Little Liars for 5 seasons. That was like my first big job. So I met quite a lot of people on that job. It was a pretty popular show.
I see. I'm just googling it now. Oh, that's with
Yeah.
Lucy Hall in it.
Lucy Hale, yeah, she was the star. All really good-looking girls. It was so much fun. It was about girls in high school, you know. So it was a good time.
Wow. 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 That's in 2006. Is that right?
No.
2017.
That's probably when it ended. It was like 2010 to 2017, I think.
Fuck. You worked on that. You're pretty famous.
I mean, they are. The actors are.
Yeah. Do you have many friendships with the actors or actresses?
I mean, yeah. If I saw them today, they'd remember me. We spent so much time together, but I don't keep in touch. I don't like, you know, text them or call them. But
did they give you their number in that? Is that
it-
such a thing or not?
yeah, they did. We went over
They
for
did?
drinks a few times. Yeah.
Just hang on there. You see the bees there, Mum? We don't need to do anything, do we?
No, you just let them swarm and settle back down and stay inside. I guess they're stingless bees. I'm wondering if.
Sorry, I had a lady from Bee Control just turned up. That's all.
Light some incense, Arch.
Do those bees produce honey for you?
They can. Just hang on. Is there anything we need to do? There's nothing.
Crisis at the Archie Manor.
Could they use the box or not really? Trap hide. Okay. Sorry about that. We're just planting a trap hive to try and get them in there. Okay.
I see.
Kesslowitz.
Aren't you keeping bees, or weren't you keeping bees?
Yes, it's my son's bees. But they're stingless bees. They're stingless bees. They don't sting you.
He's not around to deal with this disaster. So
he's at school.
Okay.
And I don't think we can do much.
No, I think you should just let them swarm out and do their thing, and then what ends up happening happens. Sometimes a swarm, a box gets eliminated, like evacuated, and one swarm takes over the other
If they
swarm.
were stinging bees, the burglary might have been foiled. Yes, indeed.
Yeah, huh?
Yes.
Paul, when was the last time someone donated to you through Dan Murphy's?
Oh, it was a little while ago there. Yeah.
I think we should remind the punters that Archie
Mhm.
Luxury does accept donation through Dan Murphy's. Contact ArchieLuxury72@gmail to get.
And I'll give you my phone number, and I'll tell you
That's
which
right.
store to arrange that through. So,
Yes. Monkey Shoulder is one of the favorites.
I love Monkey Shoulder. That was a great scotch. That.
Yes.
It's Kasowitz. So it's fascinating. What's the longest you've been between gigs? Like between. Don't call.
Interesting. A few months.
Mm-hmm.
Probably 4 months.
Does it
5
get
months.
worrying? Like you think, fuck.
No, in the beginning. In the beginning, it did, because I didn't know many people in the beginning. But now that I've been
Okay.
doing it a few years, I just did a Verizon commercial. It always works out. There's always going to be stuff happening.
Yes. And
It's the first few years that are discouraging because you get a few jobs, then you think, oh, I'm the man, I'm going to work. And then you go 2 months without working. You think, oh, nobody knows me. And then, it's just waves. It's just waves. Ride the wave.
the money's very good. That's the thing, isn't it? When you're working, it's very good. But when you're not working, it's zero. It's lousy.
Yes.
Yeah. Mike, have you ever had any desire to go into show business?
No, not really. No. This is the show business as I'm probably ever gonna get.
You gotta have some seriously tough skin to cut it. To be in front of the camera, the amount of rejection and refusal and personal attacks and people putting you down, you gotta really want it. And you gotta be able to hear no so many times and still come through. A lot of people don't stick it out.
Chin says Hollywood is a dirty game. Hollywood is a dirty game.
Yeah. It's never been one of my urges, I had much more of an urge to be a musician, just out of high school, which is what I went and did. I had no desire to be an actor or an actress. There's the story or the saying of the millions of people all over the United States flock to Hollywood because they think they're going to be the world's next biggest great star, and they lose their ass and they end up in a Motel 6. And they either
Hollywood
go home,
7. Hollywood 7. Hollywood 7. $7 a night.
Oh fuck! That's a great price. Are they really $7 a night?
No.
They can't be.
That was
Not
the
anymore.
1970s.
Where did you stay?
79.
Where did you stay in LA, Paul? You stayed with our boy Ace,
Yeah.
right? Where'd you guys stay?
Yeah, we stayed at the Marriott
That's okay.
Courtyard.
Nice.
Marriott Courtyard.
That's okay. I miss AC Morgan.
Yeah, I miss him too.
I wish he would jump on.
You're
My
right
big teddy
there.
bear.
You stay at these. You try and get into. It's very hard to get a break in Hollywood, isn't it? I suppose you don't see the casting calls and that, do you? In your end of the business.
No, that's all pre-production. I really only work on production itself.
Yeah. I got to be honest with you there. You got to just hang in there and you've had some. You're at your peak, really, aren't you? You're at your peak.
It's funny you said that to me the last time you talked. Do you ever think maybe this might be your peak? No bullshit. That made me hesitate on the 5212 because I was like, "Fuck, dude! What if this is it? I shouldn't blow it all on this watch right now."
The good thing about the 5212 is you'd get most of your money back.
Right.
That's a good point, isn't it?
No doubt. You know, one sold on the Moto Watch Group for like 36,300. I was like,
Fuck.
fuck, that's a fucking deal because they all go for over 40. I mean, sometimes you'll see one for like 39, no box, no papers. I think Tan paid high 30s, which is a fucking steal. But I was almost considering using that reference, the Moto Watch Group price, to go to David and be like, hey, bro, look, I saw one sold for this 6 months ago. The market's gone down. He's been sitting on a 5212 for like over a month, I think.
What model is that? A Daytona?
It's the weekly calendar paddock.
Yeah,
It's the one Tanzil has.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Isn't that funny?
okay.
Now we all refer to it as the one Tanzil has. It's like that's another thing. It's
Yeah.
like it's part of his identity now. It's like I can't. Do I even want to go into that fucking arena now? It's like, no, he's
No,
the
but
man.
now I know.
That would be cool.
I mean, because I've seen it. I've seen him wearing, or showing pictures of that watch on his wrist. So I know now what we're comparing against.
It makes sense for him to get it. It's like he's got the fucking Lambo. I'm sitting here with the Subaru. What the fuck am I doing with the paddock?
Yeah, who cares what car you got?
It's on the screen. It's on the
If you've
screen.
got the money and you've got the love for that watch, and getting it won't affect like really much
No,
else
well,
in
but it's
your
just
life.
the way I see it, it's like, oh, you
It's
want
on
to
the
drop
screen, Mike, for you.
You want to drop 40 grand on that watch right now, or do you want to invest it and it's going to be worth 2 million in 30 years? You know, how about that?
Yeah.
So that's kind of one of the, but it's a beautiful thing, you know, and I love the idea of, you know, first of all, I think in order to be a true watch guy, your watch has to cost more than your car. I think that's one of the ultimate flexes of watch collecting, you know. That's just me.
Hey, we got Dis on here. Hello, Dis. What's going on, Dis?
Hey, what's up? I have a question for you guys.
Sure.
What's happening, Dis?
Hey, what's up? Listen, I have a question for the chat as well. As you may well know, a few days ago, my channel got copyright struck.
Yes.
Because I played the Madonna song.
Yes.
Now, do you think that I can appeal and tell them that I played it especially for somebody who is Erin Fletcher, who is a person who is, how can I say, very special?
I don't think it makes any difference.
Okay.
But I would just do an appeal and say, look, can you please
cut me a break?
Cut you a break. That's it. Just be honest like that. Why don't you try that? It doesn't hurt to try.
Okay.
You got to get some sleep, Dis. It's really.
Archie, look at it. It's 5 a.m. I just woke up. Okay. I don't sleep a lot because I'm manic right now.
Sorry, you don't sleep much.
Yeah, I don't.
You look tired. That's the only problem. That's all.
Well, he's been under a lot of stress because of this striking thing.
Can I show Mike my new tattoo?
I would just like Archie says. I would go through the motions.
Oh, have a look at. He's got his tattoo. Look at his new tattoo, Motorhead tattoo.
Oh, Motorhead too. That's rough. Cool.
Have you thought about getting a full body tattoo, Kelsowitz? That could really.
No, you don't want a full body tattoo, Archie. Come on.
I thought that's not kosher.
Yeah,
it is. No, definitely not.
Yeah, well. Yankee Doodle.
Moment of silence.
Super chat, and I'll get off. Okay.
No worries.
My ex-girlfriend was Jewish and had her tattoo removed off of the back of her neck because she got older and her kids got a little bit older. She just wanted to be buried in the plot with her family, and she wouldn't have been allowed to if she had any tattoos or anything on her. So she had her tattoo removed.
Listen, I don't care what happens with my body. I wanted my body to be cremated. So what the fuck ever.
Yeah, there you go. No, that's just something I know a little bit, tiny bit about Jewish people, and that particular thing. That's all.
Hey, Dis, I got a question if you don't mind.
It's badass.
Sure thing, man. Go ahead.
Maybe
Sure.
you might have already answered this in previous streams, but since you're in Israel, were you required to be in the military for the
Yes, he was. He served. He
obligatory-
served.
What was
He
your
served.
MOS? What was your MOS? What was your job?
I was in the military police.
No kidding. MP.
Yeah.
So 2 years?
3.
3
Fuck.
years. Wow.
3 years. Is that right?
So-
3 years in Israel.
Yeah.
Because I know in Taiwan right now, I think it's 18 months. Just quite short. But so is it
Years
true?
ago in France, it was 2 years, I think.
So is it true that all the citizens there have gas masks?
Yes. I had to wear it in 91 when Saddam bombed us with Scuds.
No shit. What a memory.
Yeah.
I just saw a show about him, and yeah, he used weapons of mass destruction on both Iran and his own people, the Kurds.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Fuck him. Fuck Saddam. Fucking that fucking fuck.
Yeah, no, that guy was a
Nasty son of a bitch, that guy.
yeah. Him and that today that little tick of a round Asian North Korean president guy, man, that guy.
He's fucking nuts.
He's just as bad. Yeah, he's a complete fucking nutcase. He's like a fat Michael Jackson. Except if you disagree with him, he'll kill you and your family, like
Gaddafi.
in front of
Gaddafi.
everybody.
Gaddafi.
No, I'm talking about Kim Jong-il, but yeah, Gaddafi did the same thing. Any of those dictator types, they had to scare the bejesus out of you to get your loyalty, and so yeah, the whole society was just run by fear.
Yeah. I
What's up,
came
Dick
especially
Chin?
in the last 5 minutes not to ruin the show, okay?
No problems. No problems there. We love
So
to have
any
you
any
on.
cool stories as a military police officer? Any DUI checkpoints or any big?
Katowice, I was an investigator, like in the CID.
I see.
So yeah, I have lots of stories. Yeah.
Did you know anyone in Mossad?
It's the Secret Service. Mossad.
I can't answer it.
Oh, that's why he's quiet.
Yes, he can't answer. Yes, you're putting
I
him into
can't
a hard
answer it.
spot.
Can't answer it. Sorry.
I see.
Yeah.
The elite.
The elite. Yes, what an amazing way to go. It's.
Can you answer this? I hear the Mossad in Mossad training academy. They give a German Shepherd, a baby German Shepherd, to each of the Mossad guys, and they go through months and months of training. And the way to finish your training is you have to kill the German Shepherd you raised.
Fuck.
Never heard of it. I don't think so. But I never heard of it. But I don't think so. It's not a
That's
Jewish
what
thing.
they say. It's a rumor. It's a rumor to get you to get you over the fact that you're going to have to take the life of something, and it may, do you have?
I don't think so. No, I don't think that happens. But I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Vicious.
Yeah. Yes. I had a German Shepherd when I was 4 years old.
Do the women have to do military service as well, or it's only the men? This
2 years. 2 years.
for the women. Fuck.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
That's amazing stuff.
I guess in countries like Iran and Iraq, it's a little more hard line. Like the women cover their faces and
actually, Kesslowitz, NATO raised a good one. Someone tell Kesslowitz this has PTSD from all his service.
As an MP?
Yeah.
Yes, but I was in the war, in the Lebanon war too, in July 2006, and I saw lots of bodies and stuff. So yeah.
Man.
It's fucking hard, you know. This is not a fighter. If you didn't have to serve, would you have served this?
No, I had to serve. I'm Israeli. We have to serve everyone because if I won't serve and others won't serve, then the Arabs will throw us into the sea.
Yes. But if you had a choice, you would not have served. Is that correct?
No, I wouldn't. I would always serve. Always serve. Always.
Sorry? Always.
I would always serve. Always serve your country.
No.
I have a friend of mine that's from South Africa, and at the
Yeah.
time, South Africa had the same requirement where all the males had to be in the military. And he
Yes.
found out that if you were mentally unstable, they wouldn't accept you. So he
Oh,
had to
see.
pretend for like 60 days. They put him into a facility and he pretended to be insane for like 2 months to avoid military service. And they let him out. It's an amazing story. It's almost, he's talking about turning it into a movie, which would be pretty good, I think.
Guys, I want to thank you all, guys, who came on the stream today. We had a fantastic show. It was Kassowitz, it was always an honor to have you. Mikey, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you. Of course, ABC, Tan, the man, the zeal with the mostest. Who else did we have on at the start? Who else did we have on there? Higgins came on. We had some great things that happened on our show today. So I want to say a big thank you. And guys, be happy, be strong, and I will be streaming in 8.5 hours time. Guys, love you so much. Love you long time. See you 8.5 hours time or tomorrow. See you later, guys.
See you guys.
See ya.
Upvote on the way
Upvote
out,
before you
guys.
hang out. Yep.
Upvote. See you
Tell
later,
the way.
guys.
Stick around after the show. Stick around.
For sure.